What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gravity the Beast. This is Big Cat Reacts, and I'm here with the homies again.
Your boy Twan.
Yup.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bash.
All right, so last time it was just me and Bash. We was talking about Vampire Diaries, and it was mainly because we never really see dudes talking about this series or this world, this universe, whatever, right? So we got Twan over here. He watched the Vampire Diaries with us. He wasn't here for the first video.
Yeah, I missed
But now we moving forward. We about to talk about the originals.
Yes.
That was my
this
shit.
is way fucking better than the Vampire Diaries. So
I
we're
we
stopped-
can have a pretty big argument about that, but at the same
I
time,
stopped watching Vampire Diaries because I started watching the originals.
I respect that.
See,
that.
I continue to watch both like the entire time.
Yeah, it's just like you gotta keep in mind if it wasn't for Vampire Diaries, there would be no originals. You know, and so forth.
Facts.
And I would say like, all right, so we do have a list of topics, but it flows smoothly. So starting off rip, it was way more entertaining. Rip, like first episode. Now mind you, it is like you do have to give credit to Vampire Diaries because we got these characters from a different show. The plot has started.
They created a monster with Klaus.
I just want to kill this.
Bro.
I just want to kill this with this right now. That the originals, what made the originals great, is basically you got Vampire Diaries that all it was about, or mainly what it was about, was chasing after the girl and just trying to get her, keep her, lose her. A lot of other shit happened in the mix. We all know that, but the originals, though, like that's you gotta remember what they are. They're the original family, the first family, OGs from the year like I don't even know what 1000 AD, and
they were Vikings.
Yes,
they
lived
were
through
dead ass
all
Vikings,
of that.
my nigga.
They talk about like remember in 1537 to damn near 1922 to all that.
Hold on. Let's take this shot real quick.
Bro, let me tell you. Cheers, motherfuckers. You fucked up.
Fuck it.
Gravity fucked up.
But continue though.
Bro, it was a dope ass show.
Yeah.
The storyline was dope. Just basically just everything about it. There was bad. There was good. But you know,
more good than bad, honestly.
Yeah. It obviously we can talk about the ending, but we gotta start from the beginning.
So starting from the beginning, Marcel, that is my guy, bro. And I'm mad how Marcel got treated throughout this series, but off rip, these niggas ran away. They ran away when their daddy was coming to get them. Marcel stayed behind, fought for his city. Oh, you good. Took the shit over and held it down for hundreds of years. Held the shit down.
And the boy knew what he was doing.
And then Klaus bitch ass come back and be like,
damn, we already bashing Klaus.
No. Klaus is the guy, but Klaus is an asshole at the
he was acting. He was on his bitch boy bag.
But the way he had his crew on lock, he had his main guys with the rings. He had the night guys control the town. Like, yo, you a witch? What are you doing in this part of town? You a wolf?
No such thing.
No
such thing.
And that's why he had a lot of night walkers too, because of that.
See that right there. How did y'all feel about that though? Because
listen, from the jump, we know that this show, you know, because believe it or not, a lot of people didn't realize that there was a pilot on the Vampire Diaries that started the show, and off the bat, Klaus comes in knowing that he owned all this shit. It's what it is today because of me. He came back and stepped back into his old house knowing damn well that Marcel's been fucking like running this shit for the last 100 years.
To defend Klaus. He did think that nigga was dead though.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna check. We gotta be. Let's be.
Remember the lifestyle they had.
When it came to his pop, he was a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. They was also bitches, but they pop was gonna fuck him
I'm like,
up.
yo, in this world, right? And Vampire Diaries makes this seem a lot different than originals because by the time we get to originals, the world is way more advanced. But we know now, nigga, how many witches have you known? Ain't nobody do a spell to make sure this nigga was dead. Like that was your son. You just went and assumed, oh yeah, he's gone. Like what? Why would you not check? And then even beyond that, y'all motherfuckers brought how many niggas back from
Michael's
the dead?
not the type to fuck up.
Yes, but at the same time, do we know for sure that Michael even knew who Marcel was and would have went out of his way to kill him?
That's true.
I feel like he did Marcel the way he did Marcel because he was close to Klaus.
That's true.
But did he know?
Yes. He caught him and Rebecca. Remember?
Wait, Klaus? I mean,
Michael when he came back. Remember?
They
did that bullshit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. And then caught him up in the bar.
Okay, yeah. Damn. That's fact.
Keep in mind why they left New Orleans in the first place. Because of Michael.
Yeah.
You know, they were on the run most of their life. But then keep in mind, like I said, they were alive for 1,000 years. 100 years was like what?
Yeah. And for like
or 10 years or 7 years on the average
like
human life.
For them?
Yeah.
100 years.
So it's like, you know,
900 on the run.
Yeah.
They got rid of his pop like 10 years ago.
That's real.
Like
Yo,
5
shouts out to Michael. I gotta say shout out to Michael because at least like that nigga was consistent.
Yeah.
It's like he never switched his views. He was a dickhead, but then at the same time, I mean, look,
he knew what you was gonna get from him.
But not even just that. He was an asshole. But when you really keep it in mind, it's like he was mad at Klaus for being weak. His mom is the reason because of that bitch ass necklace she gave him. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, Klaus wasn't even his. Yeah. So it was like he sensed that, yo, you not my son, dog. I think he had. I could be wrong.
And then he was like, "I was so happy." When
I was about to say that. I was so happy. I was like, "Damn, that's
no
rough."
wonder why you fucked up.
That was rough. But shit. But all right, moving forward, right? The difference between the Mystic Falls community and the New Orleans community, I feel like that's one of the great things too, because Mystic Falls. They was some bitch ass niggas.
Yeah, it was ass for vampires out there.
It was not even just that. I'm saying just as a community, it was fucked up because it's like, all right, you got the founding families, that's cool. They hold shit down. They got it on lock for the most part. To where people don't even know like that there's vampires. They don't even know that there's witches and whatever. Yeah. You look at the Mystic Falls family. They had one family of witches, only 2 witches. Bonnie, her grandmother. That was really it for the whole damn town.
Slight.
That was it. And then you had a bunch of humans. That was cool. All right. Like, that's cute. Whatever. But then you come to New Orleans and it's like, oh, damn. Like, you got a whole, like, big group, multiple.
This is a community. Communities
of
these niggas.
Yep. And that right there is just way more entertaining for the story. Like, take it out of high school. Take it out of all the childish aspects of it.
Oh, we gotta run. We gotta hide. It's like, nah, we keep it 100 wherever
we.
This is our shit. This is our shit.
That's real. And they fought for their home opposed to fought for their Elena.
That's true.
Yeah. It's like
that's true.
That's true. Right there. It's like Marcel said, "Nah, I'm not running. I'm gonna stay and protect my home." Like the witches is like, "Yo, this is my home." Like you hear that a lot, and that I feel like resonates with a lot of people. It's like it's more so about the family, about the community, and about the way of life more so than it is just trivial teenage love. You know what I mean? Now, not to downplay Vampire Diaries because the show is really great, but at the same time,
it seems like you're protecting more than yourself.
Yeah.
Give more value.
Yeah, definitely. Way more value. I think that's the best way to put it. It gives the conflict more value and more intensity.
You ready to die over this girl that then fucked your brother, bro?
But you want to talk about the family that can't die? The people who it's only one thing that can kill them.
And they got that shit on lock. They do not play that shit.
And it's like, listen, them 5 are some crazy ass motherfuckers.
Hold up. Let me think.
But they lived a great life.
You got, Freya didn't turn.
Well, I'm talking about,
Finn,
the OG Cole.
Finn, Elijah, Klaus, Rebecca, Cole. Yeah, you right, 5.
The OG 5.
Yeah. Because technically,
Finn, Box, 800.
Yeah. We saw him, what, twice? 3 times?
Yo.
Three different times, you know.
Finn got done the dirtiest.
Yes. He did.
Yes. 900 years in a box, my nigga.
Yeah. That,
Nah,
when they
my
finally
God.
woke him up, you know he had like the oldest outfit.
Mm.
Because this man's been like daggered for 900. They only lived another 100 years. And then boom, got him. But everybody else been on and off. And notice that Elijah not once ever got daggered.
He did.
No, he did.
He did.
No, he did. But like in the beginning. But I'm talking about in terms of
everybody.
Like everybody. I'm sorry, I should have said that. Yeah, like everybody.
Elijah spent the most time not being daggered.
Because Elijah will cater to the bullshit, but keep him on the right track to a point. Yeah. And like Klaus knows that. Mm-hmm. It's like he needs Elijah to keep him sharp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's real. I mean, that's
you like Klaus just because of Elijah. The reason you like Klaus so much is because of Elijah's influence on him.
I can't say that.
No, but I'm sorry. I do believe that.
I feel like Klaus would be so much more of an asshole, an unlikable character if it wasn't for Elijah.
Just keep in mind, Elijah kept them in check, but they support each other. They backed each other up, and keep in mind that there was times when Elijah went a little Klaus on people, and I had mad respect for that motherfucker.
Go behind that red door.
He'll ride.
Go see what it is. But see, I do get y'all point, right? My only issue with that is I feel like deep down, and you see it more so with Cammy. Mm-hmm. It's like Klaus is a good guy, but he's like the demon, and he knows that he's looked at as a demon, and he realizes the power and the safety that comes with that fear. So he digs into it. Whereas Elijah will keep him calmer where he takes shit too far. Deep down, Klaus is playing a role, and he takes it to the extreme. But I feel like, truthfully, he is a good character or a good person. But it's like, yo, when you really think about it, this kid, he was an innocent child who had an abusive father, who was fucked over by his cheating mother, who had his birth father killed in front of him, who had an abusive father who tried to kill him, and then he got turned into a vampire by his fucked up ass mother, at which point he finally got the power to lash out for all the fucked up shit that was done to him his entire life.
He is 1,000 years old.
I agree.
It's at a point, he is 1,000 years old. Yeah. After a point, bro, you gotta let that shit go. Real rap. You're 1,000 years old.
Let's say something.
I understand the psychology of it. Yeah. Why you're fucked up.
Keep in mind that these people were pissed at their own issues for 1,000 years, right? And then notice how throughout the whole series, all 5 seasons of the originals, you notice that there was always somebody out there that had a vendetta against one of the individual originals.
Don't even say that. Primarily Klaus,
yes. Yeah. But Elijah had it. Rebecca had it.
Who had beef with Rebecca?
You know what? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. Because technically, the only thing honestly, you know what? Rebecca always had beef with Klaus.
No, that's
different.
So
I know it's different.
Klaus had groups of niggas trying to go against him. Elijah, you could argue he started the Strix, so it's like he had beef with them.
Yep.
Cole really ain't have beef. He was cool with the witches. Like, he was always good with the witches. Mm-hmm. He was just a fucked up killer, but he ain't really had beef with nobody.
I feel like he killed most of his niggas.
Yeah, but he was reckless too. Like he didn't really have the beef, time that they were on the Vampire Diaries before they got their own show, Cole was a dick. Cole was an asshole. Cole was deadly. You know, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can agree that they hated him during that time. But, you know, as things...
Dying humbled his ass so heavy, bro.
Nah, not really.
I would not. Real rap. When he was about to die, I felt bad, low key, bro.
Man, he started
the second time.
He started bitching.
He was like, "You ain't never died before." Fuck that. I was like, I just did
Listen, but imagine that they've all been alive for 1,000 years, but just keep, like, how is that sleep when they get daggered and the veins pop out, they turn gray, and then they're just in that
Finn explained it in a way. I forget how he explained it. But
I think he said like at a certain point you gain your consciousness and you're just stuck. Like, that's why, like, when he was dying, he didn't want to go back in the box. Like, he didn't want to go away.
Like, he psychology fucked up. It was like, we're just going to put you in the box.
But
he
definitely, like, fast forwarding to, I believe, what was it, season 3? Or 4, I'm not sure. But when he died, like, for real. Mm-hmm. And
what was that? Was it
Lucian.
Okay. I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
I'm
thought it
thinking
might have been
season
Marcel.
3 because when he came into,
Because he only fucked with Freya.
Yeah.
you know, and like I said, we're going really ahead, but basically, you know, the way how he became a super original and bit his ass, and that was enough to kill an original. And
Shit.
that was the most painful bite. Like no
rough.
one reacted as much as getting that type of bite on their neck.
For real.
They screamed. Most humans, when you see a regular vampire just biting on someone's neck, because that was their thing,
It looked like they got corona or some shit.
it was just more of just
Right.
like a type of thing. But no, these motherfuckers
Like they
screamed.
sick as shit. They sweating,
screamed.
hallucinating.
They fucked up.
And
got
the way
Ebola.
he died, I was like, you know what? He did suffer the most in terms of he couldn't live as long as he could have, technically.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that even though he went through some shit, every other original went through some shit because they were either daggered or they were being ran away by somebody or they were dealing with some type of issue because it didn't go their way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, remember how we met Klaus in the begin with? It was all to basically activate his hybridism.
Yeah.
So he can kill Elena.
Well, we didn't know that at first, but yeah.
Well,
that
yeah.
Sun and the Moon bullshit.
And then that's how we met Elijah
Oh, yeah.
because he wanted to meet the doppelganger. He wanted to see who she was.
Mm-hmm.
He need that human blood.
Yeah. And not only just originals, but think about because of them, we met more characters that were like hundreds of years old.
Real shit.
Because they made a population.
You got to see the levels.
We're going to get into that, right? All right, so to stay in track, right? The next thing. Davina and the Harvest Witch ceremony. How pointless was Davina's defiance, I should say. Because the whole thing was and this is what actually kind of like really doesn't make sense to me when I think about like the grand scheme of shit. So it's one thing if y'all aren't witches and y'all haven't been in a fucking magical town with covens that are hundreds of years old. But why were they what was it, Sophie Devereaux or whoever the fuck it was in the very beginning, right? She caused a whole bunch of bullshit because she thought that the harvest ceremony was fucked up and no, you're not gonna kill her for blah blah, even though everybody's telling you though, they're coming back. This is a ceremony. Has this never been done before?
How long was the last harvest ritual? I feel like it was a grip. I feel like it was a grip.
But y'all witches, you know this shit is magic. You don't believe in the shit that you fucking practice? Are you kidding me?
Say like at least 100 years, I feel like. Every 100 years. You go 100 years without and it's like you grew up in today's society type shit. It's like, you talking about you about to
float and catch fire. You don't believe. You communicate with the dead motherfuckers. You don't believe in the fact that these niggas is telling you, look, we're gonna sacrifice you. You're gonna go to the other side. You're gonna talk to the ancestors. You're gonna come back. It was that simple. Davina is like, oh no, you fucking blah blah motherfucking blah. And then what fucking happens? Davina dies. Everybody come back. Just like they said. Everybody came back. Not the same girls, you know. Because by that point, Davina caused so much beef. They was like, nah, we going to bring back an older witch to punish you now. Because literally, had you just done what the ancestors told you to do, you would have came back along with everybody else. But prolonged it. Then you got all the power from all these bitches that died. So now you trying to control shit. She was really selfish. Like when it come down, but let me not even put it on her because at the end of the day, she would have died had Marcel not came and snatched her.
Yeah.
So it really is a mix of a bunch of witches doing shit publicly when they shouldn't. It's like, well, not necessarily publicly, but y'all ain't protect y'all shit enough to where vampires could run in your shit and just say nah.
Yeah.
And then even that, it's like, yo, why? Witches live dumb long in this world.
I feel like
long in this
every single old one we've met on those series were always like doing a spell that would constantly de-age their body.
Bro, I remember in Vampire Diaries, right? Back when it was during a time where Stefan was evil and he was riding around with Klaus doing his thing. Yeah. They came across that one bar where not a bar. I don't think it was the same bar, but it was the same bartender from where they were at a club back in the 20s.
Yeah, and I love that episode.
Yeah, okay. But she looked like she was only in her 40s, 50s. Yeah. Magic. She had to be 80 something.
Even Stefan realized it because he was like, "Wait a minute,
no, she had to be 100 at that point.
Yeah,
if you was adult enough." So it's like, yo, you telling me New Orleans, and
Yeah,
especially
she in the club.
especially at that point in Vampire Diaries, we didn't really know. Like, this is at a point where Damon and Stefan think they're the only ones with daylight rings. Like, they didn't know that this shit was common. They didn't know werewolves existed. Like, all this shit to where...
Oh, they lacking.
Yeah,
They was lacking heavy.
They really didn't know. And that really... I feel like that's damn near a retcon, because if y'all really did travel the world, you ain't come across no vampires with daylight rings. You ain't come across a werewolf. None of that. But then, even beyond that, it's like... It didn't make no sense to me.
I can understand that.
But Davina...
That was a character.
Come on. I mean, I fuck with Davina.
I feel like it's on their point. It's like how the ancestors pick somebody who was that scared.
Yeah, true.
I guess it just didn't matter.
Not even pick someone that's that scared, because at the end of the day, like, they had to choose from the young witches. It's how the hell did the ancestors not inform the rest of the fucking coven? It's like, how did the ancestors... Like, you start off as a kid, and then you grow up, and you become...
Sophie was really the only one bitching.
Yeah.
But you remember why, though? Why was she mad?
Because her niece was in the ritual.
Her niece was one of the people,
So
and
it's like,
she didn't believe.
Can you blame her?
Yeah, because she's a fucking witch who grew up in a coven of witches who did magic, and for some reason chose not to believe in the
Her
magic
being-
she was taught all her life.
Her being a witch is like being
I never saw it
Amish.
like that.
And
That's
then
crazy.
you like being Amish, and then
Yeah.
you go out on your joint, and then you
That's
see the
true.
world.
That's true.
It's like, oh, we drinking, we doing all types of extra shit.
And then
Fuck
you just
it.
don't believe in the shit.
Yeah,
no more.
it's like,
That's true.
nah, the society goes this way. Niggas coming back to life? I know we can do some shit, but niggas coming back to life? That's big faith.
Real shit.
That's big faith.
Keep
You
in
you
mind-
you slitting throats.
Keep
That's
in mind
big
that
faith.
it always
Real.
sucked ass when you lost a character because they got daggered, or they got their head chopped off.
Oh my gosh.
You
yes.
know,
That's
keep
brutal.
in mind that there wasn't like every time I would see a character, and I would find out that they weren't like if they were a vampire, where they were from,
Mhm.
and you think about that, you know, that lifestyle. If you was a vampire, how old would you be? Like, what time frame would you have wanted? Because we had a conversation before where, at the last episode, I was like, know when to want to be
Yeah.
a vampire. Because remember, you stay stuck. You know, you're pretty much like that and the whole time. So it's like, you don't want to be a kid, but you don't want to be no old ass motherfucker living
yeah.
for eternity. Technically, as long as you can get a daylight ring, you can walk around the sun.
You good.
You can walk at night, do whatever. Stay away from werewolves and stay away from pissed off witches.
Hold up. Oh, you got something to say before? Because
No,
you just
I was
touched on
thinking
it.
of an age, but go ahead.
But all right, so speaking on werewolves, the next like part, I feel bad. Why do the werewolves stay taking L's, bro?
Listen,
Because their powers are the shittiest.
Bro, yeah.
well, keep in mind they could kill
uh,
vampires.
They can't, but they
One
stay
night-
taking L's. Like,
One night in the full moon, they're unstoppable.
That's
bro.
enough. Anything that can kill somebody by just biting them.
The next 20 to 28 days, I don't know, the moon cycle, it's like you got super strength, but
Every full
these
moon,
niggas is
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
rat.
that's that.
Or the
but-
one, or
but
when they
like-
had the moonlight rings.
You getting
So,
hunted for
hold on,
27
let's
days.
not go there yet, because like I'm with that. But just overall, right? So we start off the originals where all the fucking werewolves got hit with that curse because of Marcel and his people. So now they're only human during the full moon, and then they take that L. All right, bet. And then Haley come, and then fucking at that point it just becomes more and more like, even though Haley helped them, it was just L after L. Jackson got killed. Klaus
Yeah.
tried to manipulate them. Like, then the fucking I forget what their name was. The other group that came with the moonlight stones and shit, like you was talking
The
about,
Guerreros.
the Guerreros.
yeah,
They
yeah.
came in and then got wiped the fuck out like hella quick.
Oh, that was a fail.
hella quick.
Oh, that was a big
that
fail.
was crazy.
That was like
Yeah.
a rematch,
No,
low
that-
key.
that
was
Because they
wild.
been got fucked
Yeah.
up, and then
Niggas
they was like,
came
okay, we about to
snatched.
They
come
got
in.
Free
screwed,
stone
got
what
what
they
they
figured.
wanted, but then outlived like what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, because
2
like
episodes?
most of them had to activate the curse on that night. They was
Yeah.
doing their little coup d'etat type shit.
Yeah.
So it's like they was already. It's like we on some comeback shit. It's like this our moonlight rings. That's
shit
very
was
rare.
done hella quick.
That's probably like the first time werewolves got moonlight rings in 1,000 years.
When a
So
werewolf,
that's why they did all that.
when a werewolf, listen, if you tell me that I would be a werewolf and you gave me a moonlight ring, then yes, I would much rather be a werewolf than a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No bloodlust.
Yeah,
of
course,
Something
yeah.
like shit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because listen, they still ate like human beings.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get an urge of having to drink blood.
I'd be cool as a Damon.
You know, but don't get me wrong.
I'd be cool with Damon too. Real shit.
Like that Stephen Ripper shit. Nah.
Yeah.
But fuck it.
I think that's
I'd
why a
be
lot of
cool.
people like. Not saying this is the only reason why, but that's why a little bit more technical with Damon because he's Damon. But
Yeah, he's
at
an
the end of the
asshole,
day,
but it's
you
like,
know,
I'd be
it's-
less of an asshole than Damon was.
Yeah,
Real
yeah,
shit. Nah, shouts out to Damon. That's my nigga.
So,
yes, sir.
Like real shit. We touched on the Damon versus Stefan in the last video. Cause I'm definitely team Damon. Cause at the end of the day,
okay, so what's your favorite Michelson then?
I already said
If
this
we talk
before.
about
I will say
originals.
it again. It is Elijah Michelson.
see, when it comes to, I could
I just see him
second
more
that.
as being me. Because you pick that person based on how you see similarities in that person,
Okay.
or what you would do
Okay.
as well if you were them in these
Mhm.
situations. You know, like being an original, being how compassionate you can be, respectful,
Mhm.
the whole suit thing. You know, to me I looked at Elijah and I was like, yo, if I was an original, I'd be that guy.
Yeah, I'd operate
with
like
you, man.
Elijah.
You
But
know,
I
but
feel
you know,
like-
don't get me wrong. The mentality of Klaus, because if you're looking at just the physical part and how he is
Mhm.
towards people, all right, that's one thing. But mentally, oh man, I feel like if anybody pissed me off that bad, I would be Klaus.
Real
Yeah,
shit.
Klaus.
know?
Klaus
See-
is my guy.
So we can skip to another topic that I had. Like we jumping over a couple things, but literally one of the topics is when in doubt, go with Klaus. And honestly,
I guess.
that's the
I
realest
guess.
shit. Like, think about it, right? When has Klaus ever been wrong?
Can't really say.
Like literally every time somebody thinks Klaus is wrong, they do something to fuck up his plan, and then it becomes worse because they didn't go with Klaus.
Nah, I know exactly what scenario you're talking about. You're talking about when they daggered his
The
ass.
Dahlia shit.
Yeah.
But not
And it's
even
like,
just
yes,
that. When
he
is
was
Klaus
definitely
really
right,
wrong?
but he was an asshole. He got to be such an asshole about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, no, nigga.
But he won. That was
Why
when,
do you feel like you just can't explain that shit to me?
But not because that was strategy. Because
That's not how it works.
Not to Elijah? At least Elijah.
But no, because he needed them to hate him so
Okay.
he could work with Dahlia.
Okay.
He wanted like when Dahlia killed that the elder witch, he let them believe it was him, and he knew what he was doing, and they daggered him because they couldn't just fucking let him do him.
But then he crying to Cammy and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, if they think I did it, so what? Da-da-da-da. It's like, oh,
That's
here
real,
we go.
'cause they
Now
need
you want
to.
some pity for when you do your shit and you come back, you want niggas to fuck with you again. That's what it
Yeah.
be sounding like.
that's really what it
Could
be.
I
though.
could I bring up a topic real quick? Can y'all imagine? Because we had this conversation before, where what would you be? And before you really think about whether you want to be a vampire, werewolf, or witch,
Yeah.
or stay human. Shout out to Matt Donovan who survived.
Stay
All-
human
all-
the way.
all
He became
seasons.
Mayor Donovan. Shouts out
Yeah.
in Legacies. We're gonna do a video on that. Mayor Donovan. Keep that in mind.
I haven't caught up on
Damn.
Legacies, but it's good to know.
No,
Thank
that's
you.
all.
Damn,
Season 1 or 2. Like
Nah, he was a cop.
no, he was all right. So season 1 he was a cop, and then I remember, I think it was season 2 where he was dealing with the cop girl or the teacher girl. I forget what it was.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh
Other
yeah,
cop.
I was having dinner with a friend, Mayor Donovan," and then you saw like a thing. It was like a little card.
I guess I missed that part. But anyways, so basically, it was like, all right. So remember, to be a vampire, you have to die.
Mm-hmm.
To be a werewolf, you have to literally kill somebody.
Yep,
And on the next full moon, every bone in your body breaks.
that's rough. But you can get used to it. You just gotta turn. You gotta forcefully
Yeah,
turn.
it is too, because eventually, I know Haley mentioned one time where she was like,
Well, actually, no.
You just gotta like go in the woods and
Nah,
just.
That
that's
wasn't
only
Haley?
no. It was Haley, but that's different because that's only that's the when Haley became a hybrid, she was able to control it, and then when her
That's
and
true.
Jackson got married, so
That's
that's a like Hope. She can turn on command, but regular werewolves are like full moon.
right. And we haven't even
Yeah.
talked about Hope yet. But basically, and witches, I mean, I guess you just have to be born from the right bloodline. But keep in mind, as soon as you die, you wouldn't be a witch no more.
Yeah.
You know, but besides that, it's like thinking about
unless you're one of the fucking heretics
true.
where you could.
True.
You're a
They were
siphon- a
badass,
siphon
too.
Witch. That's what I would want to be, a siphon witch
Mm-hmm.
that gets turned, or like, if my let's say my dad was a werewolf, so I got the werewolf gene, but then my mom was a witch and I'm born a siphon. Then I kill somebody, so now I'm a werewolf, but then I can siphon my own werewolferism, whatever term, lichenism.
Right.
So I'm like a heretic, but instead of vampire, I'm werewolf witch.
Mm.
That'd be cool, but then at that point, I guess I'd prefer that simply to avoid the bloodlust potential. Because if you're like you don't never know if you're a ripper.
I just feel like, technically speaking, if you're a vampire and you drink blood, it's like water to you. They taste. They taste.
It's like Similac to a baby.
They taste the blood, but
Yeah.
it's like the use of it is like, listen, they literally needed to keep drinking blood to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't got no choice.
Yeah.
Exactly. But then it's like, notice that in the originals, there wasn't that many blood in the show in terms of what they drank. Like, what really kept them alive? There was barely any scenes where you would see bourbon. Yeah, bourbon. I guess.
That doesn't get bourbon.
Because they do
Like,
reveal that
Damon
they drink
survived
bourbon.
bourbon and white bitches.
Yes.
Yo.
Yes.
Yo.
And it's crazy
Big facts.
because they literally had to survive on this. And then it's like, going through the process, you get killed. But mind you, you have to have vampire blood in your system.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like a
It's
cult. You gotta be
crazy.
initiated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Like, you're not gonna get that on
You
accident.
can't just be born this way. You gotta have somebody look out for you. Somebody that wants you to be a fucking vamp, and then you
Yeah.
could do.
you
what
gotta meet one to be one.
You got me the OG.
Yeah.
That's
And then
real.
and then to know that the older you are, the stronger you are too.
that.
Which is why the originals were the all-time fucking people, man.
You can't
You
get
can't
older.
beat
Yeah.
them.
You can't
Yeah.
get older.
The
Not only
only
can you not
time-
stake them,
Right.
you just can't beat them in hands. Period.
No, like,
just
you
can't.
honestly, but you can stake them. Just leave the fucking dagger in it.
Hold up, but to be fair, right? And I could be wrong, but I'm actually curious. Like, are they as strong as they are because they're originals, or is it because
Just the age difference?
Yeah, their age. Because like when you keep in mind, like
both.
it probably is. It probably.
both.
I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is both.
Yeah.
But how can we really say that, right? Because like, look, outside of the originals, they started turning vamps within that first 100 years. So like, and we're gonna get to the Strix,
Mm-hmm.
but by the time we get there, we realize, all right, so we have vampires that are 900 years old, damn near their age.
Oh yeah.
So they're strong as fuck, and
Yeah.
that's kept in mind. Like, where I forget what the one black woman's name was that was part of the Strix, but she was dealing with Marcel, and that was
Yeah.
Elijah's old girl, whatever. That right there, she was like, Marcel knew not to fuck with her because she was 900 years old.
Marcel was
You can't
technically
fuck
was
with
only
her.
like what 160.
Something,
Because
something like
he
that.
was
like,
around the
yeah,
slavery time.
1800s,
so-
something
yeah.
like that. He wasn't.
So
he was younger than Stefan and Damon. I'm pretty sure. I think.
You
I'm
think
not-
so?
I think.
'Cause technically they were turned around the same.
Nah,
He
Stephen
wasn't-
David was Civil War.
1864, 1863, something like that.
That was.
Hold
so,
up. Maybe I don't know.
I think it
I'm
was in
not
that
sure.
in that time period. They might not be 40 years different.
Still, you know
Yeah.
what though?
Yeah.
But I think where you're going with this, where
Yeah.
basically you would see them fight an original, right?
Yeah.
And they were going like
Mhm.
to the key, like they were on point. Like both would have the defenses and offenses, and then
Yep.
in a way the originals kind of struggled, but at the end they always whooped their asses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
feel like it's both because if it wasn't, there would be a cap at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're also
You know?
vampires too, so they're gonna grow.
Because
With
keep in
age
mind,
as
the-
well.
the only time
They're gonna
they
grow
went
with
through it
age.
was with that super original with Back to Lucian.
Well, all right. So
Yeah.
that's the next topic, right? Was Lucian justified or not? Hold on, I said exactly. Are you mad at Lucian or was he justified?
I'm mad at him.
No, I think he was justified.
I don't think he was.
All right, literally, look, Lucian came across these vamp ass niggas one day, and he was able to talk his way into living, and actually got cool with these niggas.
Yeah.
He had one girl that he liked, even though that girl ain't like him back. His one dude that he was friends with took his bitch, and then after the fact, the evil ass brother was fucking with him too. And then it's like this nigga get fucked up and mutilated, but by that point he become a vamp. And now he won his fucking revenge on a nigga who not only like he had to bitch in order to get cool with these niggas, and I thought we was cool, but then you gonna take my bitch and now I'm dead. Get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck you for life. Fuck you for life. I'm getting you back.
Can I be honest with something, bro?
What?
I feel like, with that being said,
Yeah.
I was like, those are the types of people that hold vendettas.
Yep.
Sound like blue residue, bro.
Yes, thank you.
I feel you. I feel
thank
that.
you. But
that's respect. I feel that.
That right there to me is like, all right, listen. If you pissed me off because you took my girl, all right, fine, cool. But then it's like, you gave me infinite life by you making me a vampire.
Not even that. He was using Klaus to get at his drunk.
Technically,
Because he couldn't even talk to him.
Remember, he was
the
one.
From the rip,
he was using Klaus whole time. Klaus was fucking.
But that didn't come to the point where it's like.
Forget that though. But
Nah.
forget that though. Listen.
Klaus was still trying to put his mans on.
No, he wasn't. He was fucking the whole time.
If the man is fucking the girl that I like and he gives me infinite life, fuck that bitch. Fuck
But
him.
I'm trying to
I
put
don't care.
him
I'm
on.
He
living
didn't
forever.
tell me he was fucking whole time.
It
It's
don't
like
matter.
no, don't get me wrong. Look. I agree with
I
you.
could
said
love
that blue
anybody. I don't
residue.
care.
But if I look. No man should go to another man to help him get a bitch or talk to a female for
it's
him.
fucked up. I get it.
But at the end of the day, if you calling me your bro, I'm your homie, we whatever, and I ask for your help and you go bag my bitch, and
But your bitch
time,
always like me more.
yeah, you know what you do?
It is what
You
it
come
is,
and
man.
tell
You
me,
get
yo,
over it.
bro, she into me, I'm into her. I'm gonna start dealing with her. She don't want you. You don't tell me, yeah, I got you, bro. I'm gonna talk to her, and then you go slide some dick in her.
This is worse than Klaus acting a fool for the way he was raised. It's like, my guy, you had 900 years, bro. You could not find a new John. You could not.
I don't think it was that. I don't
You
think
could
it
not
was
find
like
a new girl.
Because it wasn't about the girl. I mean, well, no, I'll take that back. It definitely was about the girl because he was still simping for her after everything.
It definitely
But,
was like what
yeah.
they pretended to be them. You think that's what it was? They definitely were compelled to pretend to be them and get chased by Michael for like.
That's probably it too. Yeah, I forgot about that, but that honestly,
I feel like that's what I would be mad at over more. It's like, okay, yeah, now I gotta get you back. That was like what, a couple hundred years that you
Real
took.
shit.
You took a couple hundred years, bro. It's gonna
to
take.
finally get back.
It's
and
gonna take
like,
at least that much for me to let that shit go.
True. That's true.
I get that. All right. So next topic, right? Elijah's taste in women. Cause I like that. Cause I'm like, yo, this
Another
nigga,
reason why I love Elijah.
real shit. Cause like, yo, when we really look at this, right? I always used to like as people who are not white.
It's some of the reasons why I don't
Like,
like Elijah though. 'Cause
Really? What
But
the fuck?
no,
Hold up.
I like his taste in women, but it's like it's also your brother's bitches at the same time.
But nah,
Sometimes,
no,
not
'cause,
all the
alright,
time.
First,
It wasn't
his
all.
Yeah,
first,
it's like 50-50.
yo, his oldest love at the year 1100 was a black woman, a strong black woman.
Yeah.
Shouts out.
And then even in fucking New
man.
Orleans, he has Celeste, a black woman. This nigga love him some chocolate. That's some real shit.
Yeah.
And I like it. And then
That's
even
soul.
even look at Haley. Haley white, but she not like white. She got some type of melanin. She Australian, I
Haley?
believe. Yeah. Haley, she not like pale white. She got some melanin in her skin.
Well, she is Australian in real life.
Yeah. So like they develop that melanin so they don't fucking burn. Like to a point. And it's like, so I'm like, yo, this nigga he like
He
a little
liked
bit
the
of
tan. He liked the tan.
that is interesting. And
He's
then,
a smart man. He's a smart
but
man.
then so let's talk about the Strix though, right? Because like that's where that group come in.
He definitely was fucking her
How
too.
do you feel? How do y'all feel about Elijah and his role in that? Because when he started the Strix, it sounded kind of cool in the sense
that
like
shows
the big ass vampire group, but then this nigga just walked away.
that shows that with this guy, listen. It also proves that he did his own Klaus type shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because you can all say that with Klaus, he wanted the power. He loved to be the man on top because they were, but he wanted to enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah had his thing too. He started a whole secret organization.
I feel like it.
And,
For real?
and he
A whole
ended
secret
up
organization.
leaving it And bro, I will never forget that scene when we finally meet the Strix, and it's that scene where they have this big party, and they're having a ballroom event, and Elijah goes there, and if I'm not mistaken, he goes with Haley, or no, he goes with somebody else. I don't know if I remember.
He goes with Haley.
He goes with Haley.
I feel like Haley was bitching at the time.
And then it's funny how she'll say, "Why do these people look like you?" And his response was, "Well, because I created them. Like he made these people who they are today. He's the founding member."
Hold up, stop. Not even just that. He literally made the Strix are from his bloodline.
Yeah, they're all his bloodline.
His sire line.
They're all his sire line.
That's why they would never kill him.
Yeah.
They gave him the respect only because they knew they had that attachment to him. But notice how bad they also wanted to break it.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to kill him once they knew that they could break his sire bond.
Mm-hmm.
But things happen. But
I feel like the Strix were like
Shouts out to the Strix.
To the Strix.
Yeah, continue though. Hold up.
they got caught up in the curse of always and forever.
The Strix?
Yeah. It's like Michael came and fucked him up, and he ran off with close enough.
But how you mean Elijah got caught up in it, or the Strix?
The Strix. They were like, when it came down to it, he picked close enough and he dipped off instead of staying with the Strix.
That's
and
facts.
like trying to. So it's like they just got caught up and
were
victims of the curse of always and forever. They were victims of the curse of always and forever.
Man, we about to touch on that in a second. Oh, hold on, because this goes into the next topic, right? So the relationship of Marcel, Elijah, and Klaus. That shit really.
Klaus was
Elijah
was uncle, and he had that uncle relationship.
The reason Elijah is not my number one because he killed Marcel.
I'm with you there, but it's deeper because like here's what bugs me.
I respect that. I'm gonna
here's what bugs me, right? So we have Klaus. Klaus sees this little slave boy turn on his dad, and it reminds him of himself. He literally names him Marcel because it's supposed to mean little warrior.
Yeah, Marcellus. Literally, that's his fucking son, and that was a beautiful relationship. And Klaus, bitch ass, insecure ass nigga, can't let his son have an uncle. You can't let him love his uncle too. You that insecure that you think, oh, he's showing my uncle, he's showing his uncle some love. I can't have that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fucking wake up my evil ass brother. We gonna have some fun now. We gonna go to the club and drink and do all this extra shit.
It's like, oh shit, nah, that's that. Oh nah, you closer with him. Go. That's your nephew, right? Nah, he your son now. On some bitch ass nigga shit. Come on, son. And then we get past that.
And for the sake of Klaus, Elijah start dicking and when Marcellus treating him like shit.
That was
it's like, you know what?
Up.
You know what? You want Marcel? Take Marcel because it'll make you better.
But
no,
not even that. I
get him out of here.
I wouldn't even simplify it because at the end of the day, Marcel was never able to get this because he was a child at the time.
That's true.
Elijah never lost love. He might have stopped the growth of love. Because as a child, you build in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So he loved him as a child. And he had that feeling for him. He wanted to nurture him. He wanted to be the good uncle. But at the end of the day, he realized how that would affect Klaus and how Klaus would affect Marcel. At the end of the day, as soon as Klaus woke up Cole and Cole almost got Marcel killed, Elijah was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I didn't want to have to do this, but I have to because Klaus is going to get Marcel killed if I don't turn on Marcel. I have to. I
gotta play Klaus's game. I have to play Klaus's game.
Gotta do it, and it was fucked up. But then at the end of the day, when it came down to it, I feel like at that point, even though Elijah had love for Marcel, he stopped letting the love grow. Whereas Klaus never stopped loving Marcel, and vice versa. Now, even though Klaus had did shit to make him not even worthy of Marcel's love, everything with like not turning him and the shit with Rebecca and like so on and so forth, right? That made everything worse. But when it came down to it, and this is what fucks me up, why was Marcel never included in Always and Forever? It made no sense to me. Like, he was from this is y'all kid. Y'all raised this motherfucker. He has been loyal
For
always.
the same reason that when Elijah was like, you know what, fucking having, always and forever, it's gonna make Klaus better. They was always choosing themselves or each other.
Damn,
That
you
bond
right.
is
You right.
unbreakable.
Yeah.
That bond was
And
unbreakable.
through his whole childhood.
That shit is dumb, because they could have let. But he was a fucking Michelson.
It's
That's
a
Marcel Michelson. That's Marcel Michelson.
A self-fulfilling prophecy of bullshit that comes with that they just do to
Fucked
themselves.
up, bro.
My opinion of Marcel, I can say this: he was a gangster.
Yeah, facts.
He knew what he was doing.
Nah, fuck that. He was a fucking militant general. Continue. I just had to say, fucking gangster.
He got more respect than Klaus.
He
ever
got
did.
out of his father's shadow, and his father was close.
He was,
And I respected that.
Keep in mind,
That's real.
I can easily say that his relationship with Klaus was more intimate as he was growing up as a human. But once he became a vampire, and keep in mind, we forgot to mention something,
What's that?
that there was always that vendetta that Klaus had with Marcel because he always had love for Rebecca.
No, I feel
They
like that
kept
didn't
it-
end
they
up being a
kept it-
problem.
But they kept it. Remember, they kept it a secret though.
But I wouldn't call it a vendetta. I feel like that wasn't about either one of them individually, because at the end of the day, Klaus, he was insecure. That's Klaus's biggest flaw.
Center of
And
attention.
he needs to feel like everybody wants him the most.
Yeah.
So even though he had his sister who obviously loved him more than any other sibling, has been there for him more than any other sibling, he knew that. He still couldn't accept that she could love anybody other than him. Would kill every lover she had. And same thing with Marcel. As soon as it seemed like Marcel was connecting to Elijah, he act out. It wasn't necessarily about Rebecca and Marcel getting together. It was that, how could you love each other more than you love me? That can't happen.
Or you couldn't do both.
Yeah, you can't.
True.
You can't do
You
both.
can't do both. And that's really what it was, because I feel like deep down, if Klaus didn't have that insecurity, he wouldn't have had an issue with it. He would have understood that at the end of the day, this is always and forever.
You know what blew me? I feel like they always had. It was like a point where it was like they was good. They would have been good, happy ever after, but it always got fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like Klaus ended up okaying it. At the point, Michael was already over
Yeah,
there.
see that was, and at that point that was just patience. But you can't really blame nobody there, because
Yeah, because
you
Klaus
can't
was
read
being
Klaus'
a dickhead for a whole
100 plus.
100
Can
plus.
we just acknowledge the man's times when he wasn't a dick?
Yeah.
It's not many.
It's not. That's what I'm saying.
What?
Appreciate
I
the
mean,
times that he was.
Give me one, because I can't remember.
All right, so then then we gotta jump to not even jump, but just all right. So just the backstory to the originals. His life changed when Hope was born. He was still an asshole. I'm not saying he became like, praise baby Jesus. He just
Klaus didn't change.
No, I feel like he
No,
gives those
did.
glimpses.
He
Like
did.
with Caroline.
Keep in mind, real
Yeah.
quick. Keep in mind season 4, because mind you, season 1 through 3, she was a baby, so it was like you still have Klaus living the whole like, all right, I have a kid, but whatever, it's a baby,
yeah.
which is still fucked up, but that's Klaus. And then you got season 4, because remember between season 3 and season 4, he was out.
Mm.
He came back. She's all grown up now. Well,
No, 7 years
7
old.
years
something-
old,
yeah,
but
something like
compared to a baby, she's grown.
that. Yeah.
And that scene when when Hope walks out and everybody's sitting there, Freya, Elijah, even Cole, Klaus, Rebecca, and they see that little girl walk out with Haley, and you can see it in Klaus's eyes. Oh, that affected him.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
It's like the same
yeah.
way Caroline did,
Yeah.
same way Cammy did. It's like
yeah,
he would show those glimpses of humanity. It's not.
all that is just like things about to do with his heart, his inner self cooling down a bit, releasing some energy. Because remember, what makes Klaus mad?
Defiance. That's
The urge for power, the urge
Nah,
to
fuck that. Fuck that. Klaus is, if you just,
Yeah,
it
defiance.
could be anything. Just go against me and I will unleash hell.
There can never be a difference of
It's
opinion.
like if I tell you to
Right,
give me a
right,
piece of cake and you say no, I'm killing your family. Like that's close. That's close. Like yo,
Yeah.
like you need to do everything I tell you, right or wrong. And if you go against me, you know what I'm about. You know what I'm about. You know my name. It's like it's super fucked up. And then like even when you talked about like how you stop fucking with Klaus or no Elijah when he killed Marcel, right? Like still on that.
And
on
I
that
still hold a
relationship
grudge.
aspect.
I feel like I hold a grudge to every one of them. It's like I can never.
They
It's
all
like I
have
can't
something.
fuck with you that way. Right.
Yeah.
It's like when I felt so bad for Elijah when Klaus like burned Gia in front of me,
Bro.
I was like, yo, bro, you really be doing the most. Like, I understand you hurt,
Oh my
but it's like, bitch,
God.
you been daggering niggas for
Listen,
hundreds of years.
listen.
You get
Hold on.
daggered. It's
No,
the worst
no,
thing in the world.
I was just gonna say that at the end of the day, every single bit of pain that every original felt.
Yeah.
I know we just talked about Finn, but not him, but more all the pain that Klaus went through, especially when he went through that time with him having that dagger stuck in him.
Yeah.
And then Elijah going through it. He had his own ways of going through it. I feel like every original deserved what they experienced, but also deserved to live how they lived. So it's like what they experienced on. Listen, y'all did some dickhead shit. Y'all deserve to experience that pain. But at the end of the day, whenever they did, where they were living their livest, oh, they deserve that.
But
I
it's like, I feel
disagree.
like it's always a choice, though.
It
It's like, no
was,
matter
but then
what.
there's sometimes they get caught. They're like, yo, you fucked
Alright,
up.
bro. Look, I feel like I disagree because at the end of the day, right, most of the bullshit done by non-Klaus originals are because of Klaus. So
True.
at the end of the day, Klaus did the most bullshit and suffered the least repercussions.
Right.
Where everybody else did shit primarily for Klaus. It's like every night, like for example, Cole. Cole's a sick motherfucker. He's not a ripper, but he damn near might as well be the way
The original Ripper
yeah,
type shit.
But he's not a and that's the thing because
But
being a
he's-
ripper is like being an alcoholic.
Okay.
Cole is just a nigga who like to drink.
Yeah,
It's just
that's true.
that's
That's
really what it
facts.
is.
That's facts.
He not addicted. He don't really deal with that lust in the same way. But it's like,
Shit,
yeah,
I'm
I
cold
enjoy,
in,
I
fuck
enjoy
it.
catching bodies. Like that's a
Yeah.
Cole type nigga. So Cole, sure. But then
Enjoy
when you talk
getting
about
fucked up.
Elijah, most
That's
of what he has done, like Elijah got one evil kill when he first turned. He killed, what was it, Tatia, or
Yeah, and I feel
forget
like
what
that
her
was
name
just not knowing. That was just
exactly,
ignorance.
that was a new vamp shit. In the same
Yeah.
way, in Vampire Diaries, Caroline killed Bonnie's date when she first got turned by Catherine. It's like shit like that. Now that shit is fucked up. Obviously, when we talk about the grand scheme of shit, most of the bad was done to protect the family or to help the family and so on and within that type of way. So Klaus is the one who literally was doing everything selfishly. Like even when you look at Catherine, right? Like Catherine was a piece of shit in Vampire Diaries, but at the end of the day, she was an innocent girl who fucking had a baby young and who just so happened to be a doppelganger. And Klaus was ready to catch that body. Like fuck you. Like everything was selfish. Think about how many niggas got killed in search of Catherine and in protection of Catherine.
Damn.
And then how many people
Klaus
died
dropped a
with
lot of
Catherine trying to
bodies.
avoid Klaus? How many people were killed because of Klaus wanting what Klaus wanted?
All I can say is
versus
I ne-
Elijah wanting what Elijah
I
wants.
never would
I
have.
feel like
ever
I
wanted to
resent
be them.
Elijah for never doing that. I
for
feel like
never fighting for what he wanted.
yeah, I feel like it was to a point where it's just like I honestly felt like Elijah was like, yo, just fuck Klaus, but he never did.
Never. Almost up until and because in Vampire Diaries he was willing to team up with Damon and Stefan to kill them, and I only remember this because I rewatched it recently, where he was going to team up with Damon and Stefan to kill Klaus, and right as they was about to do it, Klaus was like, "Nah, our siblings are still alive," because Elijah thought they were dead, but they were daggered the whole time in the box. So at that point, Always and Forever came right back in.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, all right,
It's
I'm
like
gonna turn on
you.
this nigga.
It's like
It's like
that's that hope. You. Would, I knew you didn't kill him. I knew you didn't kill him.
it's that bullshit, bro. It really is. Now, like even moving forward from that, right? One of the things that honestly I think is low key funny, but it's fucked up. Are we going to acknowledge the fact that Hope got her mom killed?
Yes. So it's part of the reason I didn't watch Legacies because
because she
of
was on
how
some
all that
bullshit,
shit
yeah.
went down.
Listen,
Bro.
we still haven't even mentioned legacies, but even
We
at
have,
that,
but the fact
It
is,
don't matter. Just even originals.
Hope is her dad's daughter.
yes.
Yes.
She got caught up in what she fucking wanted. Only thing is, she not Klaus. Klaus is a fucking evil genius. It's a fact. You can't fight that. Hope got
That's
potential.
1,000 years.
Exactly.
She new to the game.
Hold up. I forget who it was, but didn't Klaus teach one of the niggas who wrote one of them war books? I don't know if it was Sun Tzu or somebody. He taught one of them niggas.
Yeah.
Like, Klaus was an artist and a war general genius. Hope thought she knew what she was doing. She wanted to bring her. Whole time, these motherfuckers separated because of you. It's the hollow. Like, yo,
Yeah.
you
And
knew
you
this.
can't see that.
Your whole fucking life, they told you. This is why we can't see you. If we come back, evil will be unleashed. She's like, fuck that. I want my dad. Like, just, I don't care if the evil comes back. I want my family. No.
But it is fucked up, 'cause
oh
it's
my
like-
God.
She with her dad.
Fuck that, bro. You understand why it is. Like, yo, if your dad was in jail, what you gonna do? Break him out?
I would want
Be
to,
on- be on-
though.
no, be on
I'll
the
do
run
my
for the rest
best,
of your
right?
life?
I mean,
It's like,
Like-
Hope is the shit. She
Yeah.
felt like she
But-
could handle it,
but
but she was naive
that
about
shit
going
is
about
fucking
it.
retarded. So what she do? She kidnap her fucking mom, put her in a fucking box, and then think that's gonna bring everybody
let's not
back.
forget who helped her too. So obviously she didn't do it alone. So
Who was the one that helped her?
the one boy who
Josh?
Not Josh.
nah, the one that she
the
gave
vampire
her, she
nigga?
gave him her blood.
Oh,
in
the
first-
werewolf nigga.
and
was a
he
werewolf.
became a hybrid.
Ooh,
Everybody was
okay,
after
okay,
him.
okay,
I mean,
Yeah,
like he
and
was,
that,
and
that
then they
caused
found
a
him
whole
dead.
bunch of bullshit.
Hell yeah.
So she
Oh, they got
kidnapped her
nigga killed and
mom.
everything.
She
Yeah.
kidnapped her mom. Her mom get kidnapped after she kidnapped her because she thought her spell was strong enough to protect her location and all X, Y, and Z.
That was like Michelson confidence
She's still a rookie
that
witch,
ended up biting her
so
in
she
the
doesn't
ass.
mind.
But that was the naivete and that was the closeness in her.
Michelson confidence.
That's not even
But she didn't have the
simplify it there.
experience to
See,
see that oversight.
Klaus was not like that as a child.
Right.
Klaus was not like that as a child.
She was like, what? How old was she? Like 17?
Not even. No, 15, I think.
15? Okay.
Because
Yeah.
she's young. What? First season of Legacies, Lizzie turned 16, I think, in the first season of Legacies.
Okay.
So Hope is probably a year older or younger. So she was she's probably 15, 16.
Can I just say that I see what they did when they casted the people who play Lizzie and drawing a blank here. Joe. And can I just say, like, they really knew what they were doing because they definitely made Lizzie
Look
be
like
like Caroline, but then Joe, they gave her to make her look like her actual biological mom.
Yeah.
So it's like you can see that you gave a daughter that looks like their biological mom, and you gave one that looked like the
birth mom.
the birth mom, who really went through some shit of her own. But besides all that, it comes down to they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know, that was
Great
good.
casting.
And they even like take on like Lizzie is more like Caroline, like
Oh,
trait
yeah.
wise, and then Joe takes on more of Joe's traits. Like so that makes more sense too.
Yeah.
But literally, Hope was so naive. She acts as though she's Klaus in present day, opposed to understanding where Klaus was in the beginning. Klaus was always a
It
genius.
sound like Boruto.
I could see the comparisons there. Cause like
I wish I knew the
she's a
terminology.
prodigy.
But it's like you think
that's a-
it's like your papa's the shit. You grew up, it's like you're the daughter of the original vampire.
And
It's
think
like
you the shit
we're
coming
the shit.
Yeah.
It's like, bet I'm gonna come up with this plan. I'm get she got everybody together, but the oversight
but it
ended
it
up
wasn't the
causing
same.
some great repercussions.
Some super fucking repercussions.
It's like it's no way you could have known that niggas was gonna come and kidnap your mom.
Why? Why do you say that? You literally know
That is
your whole
naive,
family
yeah.
got beef.
That's the naive part.
Got thousands of years of beef. You know your family dipped across, and there's still niggas looking for y'all.
She ain't never been
You know
touched.
there's she ain't never been touched.
She ain't never been
She
touched
was
by the
protected
Michelson
all her life.
by that Michelson curse. She ain't never get touched by it.
It's like you really think.
The
Can't be
Hollow
mad at
got her
that.
just because she was
But
powerful.
hold
Yeah,
on,
you
but
can't be
let's
mad at
let's
that.
dig deeper, right? The one thing that actually I thought was a real smooth thing. Klaus has always, throughout his years, had to disappear because of Michael. And I remember it was one time where they joked and they was like, so what I'm supposed to do? So what you gonna hide? And Klaus was like, I don't hide, I disappear. That shit was hilarious but that was some real shit. Like, fuck you mean? I don't hide, I disappear.
I know where you at, nigga.
Like,
you're just not gonna find me.
But real shit though, he's been alive for 1,000 years.
Mm-hmm.
There have been times over that 1,000 years where niggas was like, Klaus is a myth. Not, oh yeah, Klaus was around. Yeah, we ain't see him no, it was like, Klaus, is he real? He doesn't hide. He disappears.
Notice that we finally saw what he looked like in just a preview of the past.
Yeah.
Technically speaking.
Yeah, like in Vampire Diaries, he was a mysterious ass
first
nigga.
Scene in like the Vampire Diaries world, because technically we did deal with them, within the second season.
Yeah, but they were so mysterious.
Exactly, and it's like because we first met Elijah wearing that weird ass hairdo.
Mm-hmm.
That was funny. That long hair shit. That was funny.
I think that was he was the best candidate for Elijah at the time. Let's roll with this. And then when they realized that he was going to be the one to be in this, they're like, you know what? Let's revamp that little hairdo a little bit.
He's a main character. He's no longer a side character.
Oh yeah. He's not just a cameo. He's a main star, main character, signed contract and everything. So.
But that nigga Klaus, he disappears. He was smart in a different way. That Hope had natural talent in the same way. I know you don't know what Boruto is, but but not even digging into it. The whole idea is that Naruto is the main show. Yeah. Boruto is a show about his son. Naruto had to grind to get where he was. Boruto was a prodigy because of who his mom and dad was. So he didn't have to work the same way.
Gotcha.
So he makes different decisions. He's naturally a genius. He's a prodigy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the experience, and since he's so skilled naturally, he doesn't have to go through the same trials to gain the experience and the knowledge. So with Hope, she is a witch from New Orleans who has access to all that.
She's a 15-year-old witch who just took down a hybrid like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing. And she because of that, she's so naive to where she thought it was possible to just, I'm just going to bring them back and fuck the hollow, we'll deal with it. That was so naive. And because of that, her mom got captured. And what happened? Niggas, the ops that you was not even thinking about came into play, took your mother, and she died because
that scene was real. That scene was real.
Now, that hurt more because she was looking at Elijah.
Damn,
it was like, yo, I'm about to die.
We didn't even talk about him losing that part of his life, that memory that he chose to get rid of.
I feel like he was a real hoe with that. I feel like he really went out.
Nah, because Always and Forever is.
And I feel like that's
shit,
the reason.
Bro.
It's like he never moved
that's
on.
How you know the
he
love.
could never have his own life. And I feel like that's why he can't
his
be
life was making sure that
he it's like you never live a life of your own.
Thing, but at the end of the day, he really was the reason why Klaus wasn't worse than what he was. That plays a big part. Like
I like Klaus because of Elijah's influence, but I resent Elijah because he never got to live his own life. It's like you can't be next to your brother, so now you have to have a whole new memory, a whole new life, because you can't deal with it.
But he did when he gave up that memory, and he was out there living.
It's like why can't you just hold that memory and just move on, bro?
Real quick. Yo, that was just some terrible luck on Elijah's part.
Yeah.
That the first vampire he meets when he don't got memories happens to be a vampire who's the daughter of a nigga that got beef with his family. Like that was just good writing. Bad luck.
Yeah.
That was just some bad fucking.
Shouts out to Klaus for helping him through the red door though. Everybody was ready to dip on his ass.
Yeah.
That's why I be fucking with Klaus though.
He chose to, because by then they did the spell about getting rid of that character to basically be in all their bodies, so they had to separate.
Yeah.
So shout out to Klaus for still saying fuck it, even though like they would feel pain, they would hear it in their ears, that spirit.
Yeah.
And he still would go up there and tip him $100. When him playing the piano, he supported him.
He
still
can't fucking let go of his brother. That's real.
Yeah, that's real shit. That's family. That right
facts.
there is family, and that's why they always went by it, always and forever.
Always and forever, man.
And they stood by that till the end.
You can't FaceTime, nigga. Klaus, what you doing? What you doing, Klaus?
That's real.
But Klaus gonna hang up the phone on his ass.
But
Klaus
we
the type
seen
though
that
just
shit.
block your number real rap. He'll block Elijah's number if he feeling away.
Yeah.
He's just like, I don't want to hear that nice shit right now.
Yeah.
You
Just
need to hear that nice shit.
Just remember,
But I'm just going to block your number.
that these motherfuckers was also very, very wealthy.
Bro.
1,000 years of wealth.
And I'm actually mad that they never actually touched on a specific number. Because, like, same with Stefan and Damon,
Listen.
but they're different. It's like when we talk about Vampire Diaries, it's like, okay, they were the founding families. We know Stefan and the Salvatore family were like a lumber mill. So when we look at the fact that, okay, this is a fucking bumblefuck town, nothing but trees everywhere, makes sense. Y'all could get money off of that. Y'all had the Salvatore mansion, and then even after everything, it's still in the state that, like, whether the business is running or not, whatever,
it's always gonna be taken care of.
It's some bread there, so you good. I could see that. But
Keep
with
in mind
them,
that technically speaking, they literally lived like their family line still continued. They still had human Salvatores.
One, did she live? I don't even remember that.
Who?
I don't even remember this.
Zach's
Zach's daughter.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not sure,
I forget.
but technically,
it's
she
just
was
so
the
long. I don't
last
even know
one.
who
She
that
was
is.
the current
she was
one.
the last one.
But remember, there was also a Salvatore that was living in the Salvatore house that Damien killed.
Yeah, that was Zach.
No, before Zach. This was back in, I think, the 50s or 60s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
and it didn't say anything about that being Zach's father or uncle or whatever,
Yeah.
but all we knew that was a Salvatore.
Yeah.
And, their family line continued. So that's why, like, Damon and Stefan, they had money. They were comfortable.
Mhm.
We don't know if they were millionaires, but they had
I'm
money.
pretty sure they were.
Yeah,
I'm
they
pretty
just
sure.
lived it. They just
160
lived the
years
casual-
old, young as shit.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
could be
they're
a
That's
just
a
millionaire.
lot of
casual
time for
people.
interest to accrue.
That's
Yeah.
just yeah.
Yeah, they
Not
were
even interest,
casual.
just
They didn't live the high life. And then with the
Now
originals,
they did live the fucking high. Like
they had a big house and they had
no,
unlimited bourbon.
but not even
Yeah.
that though. I would
know?
say like Stefan, and based off of how they made it sound, Stefan was the type to where he used the money, but he was the type that I'm gonna go be a mechanic. I'm gonna go be a firefighter and do some shit. Damon,
let's not even talk about time.
Mhm.
Just compulsion alone.
Oh yeah, you good on Brad.
What?
Yo, don't let me see Bill Gates.
What?
Don't let me see Warren
Like,
Buffett.
yo, I need a check, cuz.
Yo, let me hold 100,000.
To the foundation that's bullshit that's in my
Yeah.
personal checking
Oh,
account.
yeah, you got a spare 250,
Shit.
250
Oh,
grand.
they
You gotta,
listen.
Yeah, bro.
Yo, let
right.
me hold a few shares, Warren. Like,
But I
you
but I
going
feel
through some
like
shit.
Put
I
me
feel
in
like
your
they
will.
had so many opportunities
Real
within
shit.
1,000 years, especially with the original family. Is they knew how to invest their money well. I mean, they knew kings,
Yeah.
they knew queens.
Well,
They were
compulsion, you
royalty.
didn't even
They
have
taught kings and queens,
Yeah.
how to be kings.
So
and queens.
they listen. They know what they did,
to.
and because notice, you saw nice cars and nice houses with the original family, and they always had everything they wanted.
I feel
Stefan
like
and Damon-
compulsion alone do that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, you can
that's
easily.
real.
I mean, I guess that's why they assume, because listen, they never, like you said, they never disclose any money wise. They just know that all these people were always very comfortable. They always had what they needed, you know. And
Now hold on. Klaus was a fucking Armani, fucking Gucci wearing ass nigga. I don't remember what episode it was exactly, but somebody made it. I think it might have been Cammy. She made a comment on how he always wearing some like designer Italian shit, and like
which is
like,
weird.
I
because
created this designer Italian shit.
It's
So if
crazy
you want to be
because
real,
Elijah would be the one to wear the suits and the nice, I remember there was a scene, and it's crazy because even though we talk about the money that Stefan and Damien had, the original family, but Marcel also had money.
Yeah.
Because especially when we fast forward to season 4, and because technically that part fast forward years.
Yeah. That was like 7 years.
Right.
Something.
So
yeah.
5 years or something like that.
And I was like, Hope went from 7 to like 15.
Each 3 to 4 and 4 to 5 were jumps in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I remember Marcel and Elijah were in a BMW i8, and Elijah had said something about the car, but Marcel said something about the suit, and I think he had said, "Yeah, that's why you're wearing a $3,000, $4,000 suit." Elijah was like, "No, it's $9,000."
Yeah.
Like he was like, "Yeah, it's a $9,000 suit." And
Bro.
he closes.
yo,
the
get
one
that price
button
tag
like
right,
he
cuz.
does.
Bro.
Get that price tag right.
That was that bread, bro.
And then like there was a scene where Elijah's with Hope. She's grown. This is season 5, and they're at the high school. And because mind you, Hope has a lot of anger towards Elijah, especially relative to her mother's death and whatnot. But besides that, them having that little day together that they had, Oh, Elijah tipped $100 bill.
Yeah.
Easy. I had Hope driving a Bentley.
That was
You
real.
know?
That's
You
that
know?
real vamp shit. It's like, yo, if you a poor
Yeah.
vampire, you just suck.
Even look at the Strix.
Like-
Back to the Strix. The Strix had bread. All those
bread.
years being formed, you don't think that there's powerful people that have
Hold up,
money?
but that's different though, because with the Strix, honestly, the whole idea
They're
of
like
the Strix
Illuminati.
is crazy.
Yeah,
Nah,
pretty
type
much.
shit.
They're like
They're literally
Illuminati.
a group of supernatural vampires who own legitimate business and
Yeah.
are around the
'Cause
world.
even
and-
Lucian was rich.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Lucian was
They
the
only
first
take
vampire.
aristocrats and a
Yeah.
bunch of high name people.
Listen, that's 900 years of business.
yeah.
You
Come
mean
on,
to
bro.
tell me that?
filthy rich.
Listen,
By 200, you at the top. And then
They had- that
by
was-
that, you could just keep
that
with
was
the
that
times.
world's Illuminati and powerful politicians and royalty, all that. I mean, come on. It's to the point where these people literally had all the money they ever needed,
Ever. Good. Super
and they
good.
didn't need it literally because realize Stefan and Damon didn't have jobs technically.
Mhm.
They the originals never worked a day in their life.
The thing about being a vampire, you could be like a bum vampire and still get a penthouse every night.
Nah.
Pretty
Right.
much, yeah.
Real
It's like,
shit,
yo, I'm
yeah.
this. It's like,
it
yo,
all falls.
I
to
mean,
literally,
give me the
like,
key.
But obviously, as long as they went on Vervain,
Yeah.
even an original couldn't compel you if you were on Vervain.
That's a fact.
That's rare. You gotta know somebody in the know.
Yeah.
I just go. I'm
Yeah,
like,
with the
know?
Vervain. Yeah, if you not like, if you, for example, I forget. I think it was in Vampire Diaries where, at one point they were putting Vervain inside like the regular water system for the town.
And the coffee too, because
Yeah, Mystic Falls.
the Mystic
Yeah.
Grill,
Mhm.
was also
Yeah.
like putting it in the coffee for people, and
yeah, so
But-
I'm gonna just go to the next town.
and you can't be disappointed as the fact that every single original has the power to compel vampires as well.
See, I got one. Well, this is one side note before we move to the next topic. Right. In all 900 years,
Mm-hmm.
in all the witches and werewolves that we've ever had,
Okay.
you're telling me there was never a group of witches and werewolves, or just witches, or just humans in the know,
Mm-hmm.
that went into politics? Not one, like, especially with the information that the government knows, right? I mean, of course, there's a different universe. It's the world of
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries. But I have to believe that not one security agent, fucking intelligence agent, whatever the fuck, found out about vampires, found out about Vervain, and then put that shit in the water all across the country. There was never a werewolf that went into politics and at least became city council to spread
if you've
the
been living
word.
900 years, you're never gonna let that happen.
900. No.
Keep
I
in mind,
feel-
but keep in mind they have the
900
month
years.
thing with the whole transforming thing. Like they gotta.
But no, I'm saying it's so much shit to where it's like, look, I refuse to believe there was never a president who knew about vampires in 900 years. Only because of the level of intelligence that people at that level have. To where you could know about a terrorist that came without seeing them on camera, getting no audio, having no paperwork. You could find out about a terrorist, but y'all don't know shit about the supernatural. Even though y'all niggas be looking into all this bullshit. You telling me not once was there ever a nigga that got to the top of the government and said, yo, federal regulation, Vervain in all water systems.
You really think they would have put Vervain in the
Yes,
whole,
I
like,
feel
like the whole world?
Yes. I feel like in 900 years, because I could like vampires could kill a lot of people, and if vampires come together, they
Yeah.
could do a lot. But
That's
at the
true.
same time, if we look at a small town like Mystic Falls, if they can know about vampires and keep that shit on lock,
Yeah.
a bigger country with more information and more access. Y'all telling me y'all can't find out about Vervain and then put that shit in the water system across the country and fucking fuck these niggas
I
up?
feel like you have to know what you were looking for.
You would, and that's what I'm saying. Not one nigga knew to look for that shit
And what I'm
in
saying-
900 years.
With 900 years, I
Not
feel
even
like
just America,
Strix,
just any country.
just like Strix will have that on lock. It's no way you're gonna do that.
I
And
see
not
your
know.
point there.
It's no way.
Keep in
If
mind
I've been
one
living
thing.
900 years, I didn't foresaw that.
Keep
It's
in
like
mind
it's
one
no
thing.
way.
Yeah.
Is that
Kennedy.
keep in mind that technically And this is always a thing I always wondered about, even the originals and the whole vampire universe. Elijah said in one episode where he was like, I think Lucian, this is where Lucian wanted to become an original, like a super original.
Mm-hmm.
Elijah was like, this is where we were made vampires. And he said it was Mystic Falls, Virginia. And it's like, okay, so y'all were born in Virginia. But why is it that y'all have British accents?
Bro, I said the same shit, bro. Now, I said the same shit. I'm like, yo, y'all niggas is American. Y'all niggas is American.
Y'all are technically American, but y'all
1,000-year-old Americans.
Real shit. The first Americans.
Exactly. They were born here in Mystic Falls, Virginia. It was where. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because you wonder why the society of people in the whole world about vampires. Yeah. Keep in mind that Vervain is mostly known in Mystic Falls because remember, how were the originals made?
In Mystic Falls.
In Mystic Falls with Vervain because their mom and the whole spell that they did creating them. Real. That's why they use white oak. That's why white oak can kill them.
Because that's what they used to make
That's what you used in the spell. Vervain. Their weakness is Vervain. They can't touch it. They can't drink it. They can't even
So you would never really find out their weakness.
Exactly.
Unless you're from this small ass town.
Exactly. So that's why everything revolved around Mystic Falls. Yeah. And then it's like, all right, well, y'all born here. We're still trying to figure out why y'all asses is British.
Yeah. Well, see, no, I was going to
say they were Vikings.
They were.
They could have got it from their parents.
Not even that. I don't think it was that. More so, I think it's the fact that when we keep in mind, at that point in time, 1,000 years ago, America wasn't developed. Yeah. Like, there's no way to say if there were, like, tons of Native Americans, if they had even gotten over here yet.
Pretty sure.
So, more, you know, we could talk about that. Yeah. But what I mean is, more than likely, right, 1,000 years ago, more than likely, they weren't trying to travel America. They was like, yo, let's go back to where our dad is from. And then that's the old world. So prior to all of the pilgrims and, you know, all the immigrants coming and developing America, it wasn't nothing here. So if we going to live, we might as well go back. And then at that point, it's like, yo, you spend, let's say
living in tents.
Let's say it was 600 years they spent in Europe. I could see that accent being strong as shit now.
Yeah, because they definitely, like, traveled the world.
Yeah. But if they spent most of their time in Europe and then, you know, we know Elijah went to China, like shit like that.
Keep in mind, like, he chose to always want to go back to Italy. It was always that town. Out
of
the whole world, it was that town in Italy.
So that makes sense.
You know, so, and you know, even Stefan and Salvatore, Damon, you know. Yeah.
They stayed in America. They wasn't.
Yeah, they stayed, but they were around the country. You know, they had their life in New York. You know, they had their life in a lot of places. And then even down to New Orleans, down the future when they're trying to look for Klaus and all that. I mean, you can literally look at these people. They traveled the world. I mean, 1,000 years or beyond that, even 100 years. You know what you can do? Because notice they always showed a part that was like a couple hundred years apart or a few years apart. You know, but think about
1 year is like probably like 10, 20 to them.
Honestly, I mean, listen.
You mean the opposite? Like 10, 20 years is like one for them?
Probably.
Yeah.
And then it's like you think about it and you're like, all right, well, these people came in the second season of the Vampire Diaries. They skip years, season 3 to 4, season 4 to 5. Overall, so much shit happened. But keep in mind that they all lived a pretty crazy, normal life to them, but crazy to others for 1,000 years. But the moment they found out about this beautiful doppelganger by the name of Elena Gilbert, everything changed and they go off from there.
Not even that. I would say Catalina Petrova. Because they was looking for Catherine forever, and then they just went on Elena.
Because that was a bounty. Klaus knew about this whole like unlocking his hybrid self for the longest time. Remember, he was the only one that was a wolf because he was always a half sibling. And then, believe it or not, when I first started watching the originals, I thought Klaus was the oldest because of how he was. Yeah. But then I come to realize that
he's a middle child type.
No, he's a second to the youngest.
He's a middle child. He's a middle child. Well,
because it's Freya.
Outside of Freya, he's the middle child.
Freya, Finn, Elijah, Klaus, Cole.
Yeah. Without Freya, he's the middle child.
Right. And I think I'm sorry.
Rebecca.
Rebecca, Cole, and then the one brother that died when it started the whole.
Yeah, you really forgot about
okay.
that.
Michael was telling the mom, "Listen, we gotta do something because we're not losing any one of our more of our kids."
Yeah.
And there we go. So
Damn, I forgot about that one.
he's 5 out of 7.
Wait, no. That kid was older.
No, remember Klaus was.
What was
carrying-
it? Henrik or Heinrich
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
the
He was younger than Klaus.
Yeah, he was really young.
Because they
But
blame
I'm
Klaus
saying,
for
I
taking
think-
him out there.
Klaus was carrying
I
him
think
in his arms.
he was older than Rebecca though. I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember, but either
Yeah,
way,
he was a flashback kill.
yeah.
Feel
I
bad for
mean,
him. He's a flashback Michael Wilson.
and then remember the time when he met his real dad?
Bro, and killed that nigga.
Whoa, yeah.
And killed that nigga.
Because
He used to
we
blow
never
my
talked about
shit.
the other side. When you died, you went to a whole other dimension and you were still alive.
And then this nigga came back just on the
And
random.
you know who knows that place better than anybody who came back? Alaric. My nigga Alaric.
I wouldn't say that. Why you say
Yeah,
that?
because remember he was a human.
Mm-hmm.
He was turned into a vampire. He died.
Didn't he become like an
Went-
original vampire?
Yeah.
He was an original.
He was technically because he was allowed to compel Elena to basically
Like,
remember
that,
Oh, yeah.
Esther,
to forget Damon.
Esther turned him into an original.
Exactly.
But she
Use
was
the
trying
same
to use
spell.
him because he
Yeah.
was a vampire hunter. She was trying to emphasize that shit, so he would
Yeah.
become like the original vampire. Hunter.
But you know he died, and
Like a
then
bloodlusted Michael.
Yeah, he's my. Yo, hold up. Did we ever see Alaric original versus Michael?
No, I think he
Ooh.
might have been already dead.
That probably that'd have been a. I got my money.
Because
on
remember
Alaric.
the only big thing he did by him being an original was just delete Elena's memory of Damon.
Yeah.
You know, because he was allowed. He was an original. He could compel other vampires, and that was a time when Elena was a vampire.
That was
You
real.
know, and
But all right. So next subject, right? Because we getting towards the end, right? Josh was a loyal ass nigga.
5 straight seasons, and that motherfucker came up. He went to New Orleans
Bro.
on vacation.
And got killed.
Lucked out because keep in mind how he was able to stay alive.
Bro.
The girl he went to New Orleans with, they both get killed.
Or
And
both get
Marcel,
kidnapped.
Shout out to
Kidnapping
Klaus for
but-
setting that up. That was
both
a
get
Klaus setup.
kidnapped, and then Marcel pretty much gave him an option, and the dumb bitch
Tried to save her.
The
tried
fake
to save
bitch.
the selfish bitch,
Yeah.
who tried to save her own life and ended up getting shot. And Josh is like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" And now he's alive, and of course, you know he goes through the whole time,
Yeah.
you know. But it did suck when he died, but it did mean a lot when he did.
But hold up. Let's not even jump to that point. Hold up real quick. R.I.P. Josh.
R.I.P. Josh.
R.I.P.
To my
Josh.
man
That
Josh.
shit sucked. This man, like you said, this man started off loyal to the friend who didn't give a fuck about him.
Yeah,
Then he was a friend of Davina, took multiple L's dealing with it, but it's okay. He survived. Then he was a friend to, he was a soldier of Marcel who became a friend and took L's for Marcel.
He was also a spy of Klaus.
He was a spy on Klaus. Fucking Marcel dipped out of fucking town, and what did Josh do? He took over, held it down for the vamps. Marcel come back acting like a bitch, want to come take shit over again and get captured. What Josh do? He come save him, die in the process. R.I.P. Josh. He was a loyal nigga to Davina. He was a loyal nigga to Marcel. He was loyal to the community of New Orleans. Vampires, werewolves alike, witches too. He kept the balance. And when he died, that was a loss.
yeah.
That was a real loss. I felt bad for this nigga. Bro, even when his fucking boyfriend died, bro. Yeah. Dog.
I think, didn't they blame Klaus for that shit?
Yeah, they did blame
Yeah, it
Klaus
was
for
his
that
fault.
No, it wasn't his
Bro,
fault.
Oh my god.
He was the one that sent it out.
Nah,
Nah, that was a
um,
setup.
That was who
It was
killed
a
Dahlia
Yeah. Dahlia did that, and then they let that
made
shit
her blame
rock.
it on Klaus. And he was like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. On some Klaus
Bro,
shit.
that shit was a damn shame.
But you know what though? When Josh finally died, though, it was cool that they kind of brought him back for that scene, because even though by then the other side had already been gone,
Yeah,
they still brought him back, and they seen each other wherever it was that they met, and they lived happily ever after. Their spirit were finally together again because they were in love.
yeah.
And he was a werewolf, and Aiden was a werewolf. He was a vampire. Technically, y'all should hate motherfuckers like that. That was the racist. That was the racial around that universe.
Real shit.
Was the hatred between vampires, werewolves, and witches, and anything else beyond that. And then it's like, well,
So Klaus was like basically light skinned.
I guess. Like who
Well,
were the
you
racials
mean-
in
you
this
mean,
community?
It just
Oh
depended.
yeah, because he mixed.
Yeah.
Klaus was light skinned.
He was a
Right.
mixed
No wonder
guy,
he's so
And I'm not gonna
emotional.
lie, yeah, no wonder he has some light skinned ass tendencies. He was
Because
a
keep in
loyal
mind
nigga.
that
For real.
that this universe is very open about LGBTQ like
Yeah.
communities and stuff.
Mhm.
Like the
Just definitely was gay.
what were we just talking about him?
We talking about Josh being a
No,
loyal
the girls, the siphons.
Oh yeah, the heretics.
Heretics. Like those two girls were like the first lesbian couple.
Yeah.
On camera, like openly, and then Josh
probably
and
not.
Aiden.
No. Oh, you mean in this verse?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
They're
fact.
really open about it. So
That's
you know
fact.
that wasn't even issues like how it is in the real
Yeah.
world, you know. And then you go back to the whole, like, literally the hatred between werewolves, vampires, witches, like the hatred was real. They literally wanted to kill.
Freya was
On
on that
site.
shit too.
For
That's
real.
why when the original started, no witches could use magic because the vampires knew. By
Yeah.
literally the stroke of their hand, they could make all
But
their.
no, that's only because of Davina. Davina was letting
No.
Marcel know who was using magic.
But besides that, I'm talking about like the point that each vampire technically had to watch out for werewolves one time of the month,
Yeah.
and they literally had to not piss off any witches because every witch knows that they could really kill and annoy and destroy a vampire
Some
at will.
broken necks.
That
some
wasn't
brain
necessarily true
aneurysms.
because a lot of
Yeah.
because a lot of the witches was shook still. I feel like in a real situation, right? Like
Yeah.
if this was outside of the show and
Okay.
outside of writing and entertaining,
Okay.
They
all
just
the
speed
vampires would be
blasted.
dead. All the vampires would be dead. All you
Word?
need, all the vampires would be dead.
Okay, explain please.
If I was the leader of the witches, you know what I'm doing?
Killing every single one of them.
Well, yes, but at the end of the day, how you go about it, it's easy. Is they never really address it. How many times have you seen a witch walk into a room of vampires, give them brain aneurysms, and they drop? Multiple times, right? How many times did you see a witch walk in, brain aneurysms, have a stake in her hand to kill them once they've hit the ground?
That's true.
Never. All these vampires would be dead.
I feel like
They'd be long gone.
the vampires could do the same thing, but you could just speed slice their head off,
That
and it'd be
is
a
very
wrap.
true, but the whole thing is about the conversation. It's
Mhm.
like vampires coming to talk to witches versus coming to kill them. You come to kill me, you're going to rush in and kill me.
Yeah.
If you come to talk, you come to talk. But if I know I want to kill you, why are we having a conversation and I'm here just shook, scared the whole time? Don't fucking hurt me. Brain aneurysm, you drop, stab you
I
in
feel
the
like
fucking
the same
heart.
way
It's
vampires
over.
would be like, if I just came to kill you, you're not gonna see me coming. There's no
That's
way.
true. Because remember they had
Exactly.
like
There's no way
super
you're not
speed.
gonna
But the
see me
vampire, but the witches can literally kill you in front of you. You have
Yeah.
to see the witch coming, but that doesn't matter with a witch.
They
'cause-
always release the most.
And with the
Yeah,
vampires, I
the
feel like
brain
you would
aneurysm.
never see them coming. You would never see a
Yeah.
vampire coming.
So like it just don't make
he
sense
really
that
wanted
the
to get
witches
you.
let that shit rock.
Yeah.
Like-
and
They don't
still,
acknowledge
it's-
their own power.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, like the witches can control vampires. The werewolves, one time of the month, can control the vampires. And it's like, even though they had a lot of great advantages,
Mhm.
they had some fucked up disadvantages.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you get bit by a werewolf,
You
you're
done.
done.
Well, until Lucian came out with that cure, that was some real
Well,
shit.
no, because an original can cure.
Only
What?
Klaus,
No,
his
Klaus
hybrid
blood.
blood.
Oh, because you're
Yeah.
right. It was a hybrid blood that could kill a werewolf bite. And
But not Lucian's.
no,
Not that upgraded shit.
there was no cure for that.
And that was
And back to why
That
you
dude
why
a
you
lot of
hit
finesse.
Elijah by him killing Marcel, and then Marcel, that was his way because he knew his
I
ass
feel like
was
that
gonna
was
die.
a good Marcel Klaus moment.
That was
Klaus was speaking some shit that he should have been the fuck said.
that was when they really like expressed what each other's
talking
felt
about on the bridge.
on the bridge when Elijah ripped out Marcel's
Oh.
heart.
Yeah.
That shit was terrible. Oh, what were you saying, Swan?
No, it was just like Klaus was keeping it in the buck. He was like, yeah, he finally acknowledged. He's like, I feel like you couldn't love both type shit. That's
Yeah.
why I treated you like that. My fault. He was on some humble shit.
Bro, if Elijah
I
just
feel like every time Klaus is on some humble shit, he always get hold.
No, I mean yeah, but not. I don't even think it was that because that was strictly Elijah. If Elijah had come an hour later, everything would have been cool.
You think so?
I know so. Literally, Klaus and Marcel were working it out.
Marcel said
They
he
were
took it to
working it
see what
out.
my family would do. I already
But
took it from the rip.
not even that. It was like Marcel was working it out. I mean, Marcel and Klaus were working it out. They were having a conversation on the bridge. Klaus was like, you know what? I understand. It's like, yo, if you my son, I'm not even going to be mad that you more powerful because you my son. You my family. Elijah was the one that was like,
It's a threat.
snatch
It's a
your
threat.
heart. It's a threat. Elijah was the one that didn't accept
We couldn't
him.
take no chances.
You
Where-
couldn't. You
When-
really
when
couldn't.
Marcel-
Klaus
though?
knew this was my son. Klaus is like, yo, this is my son.
Keep in mind that
Like, come
Marcel.
on.
Listen, Marcel always has something to prove.
Cause his fucking bitch ass daddy.
Yeah.
You
And
know
keep
your
in
daddy the
mind,
king.
technically because his biological dad was white, was a
Cycles.
slave
Yeah.
owner.
Yup.
His mom was a slave,
Yup.
and he was born into that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And man, listen, he had a lot to prove. He did prove them, but they never wanted to accept him.
Yeah.
And then remember that scene when it was all the originals together against Marcel, and they had that talk,
Oh yeah. When he followed them through the tunnel when they was trying to escape and shit.
and they had that real ass talk. And I felt bad for Marcel a little bit. I felt bad.
Yo, Cole was a dickhead. He was like, yo, you've never been part of Always and Forever. Get over it. I'm like, fuck you. You spent most of your life in a box, nigga. You don't know our relationship. Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I feel
well,
like, I
top
feel like
three, all that matters.
I feel like he
Because-
got 400 years.
But at the
maybe.
end of the day,
Yeah.
keep in mind,
Over
who
2.
would they pick? Marcel or Cole? They're gonna pick Cole.
No,
Yes.
because when it came down to
I feel
Marcelo
like
and
Klaus
Cole, they
is
put
willing-
Cole back in the fucking box.
Yeah.
But after that scene though,
That's why Cole said it. He
listen.
was mad.
After that scene,
Yeah, he's bitter.
I'm pretty sure Cole knew. Yeah, my family ain't gonna be killing me right now because
Oh, yeah.
it all depends on the bond during that episode, during that time.
I feel that.
If they're because remember, the relationship Klaus and Rebecca had was crazy because remember he always daggered Rebecca for her safety.
Yeah.
He did it in what he thought was in her
No,
best
that's
interest.
bullshit.
For what he thought
is
was her
bullshit, but
safety.
he
That's
still
not
did it.
for her safety. Nah,
But that's what he would say. He was
Yeah,
like,
that's
"Oh,
what he
because I
said.
wanted to
That's
protect
definitely what
you."
he said.
Fuck
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck. No.
I'm not saying
He
he
said
was
that,
good.
but
I'm just saying
yeah.
that it was
That was
fucked up
his
what he
bullshit.
did,
Yeah.
But he did that, and then it's like, all right, well, Rebecca went through it. That relationship was always crazy, and then it's like, well, during that time, there'd be times where they both would hug each other, love each other, talk about it like I'm always there for you, no matter
Yeah.
what Klaus has done to Rebecca. She always came back
Yeah.
and gave him the respect
She ratted
because
on
of
Cole.
the family thing.
Yeah.
And
they
then-
loved these. Like that was.
they
real-
did-
that
they
was
still
real
loved
brother,
each
sister
other.
love.
So
Like,
what I'm
yeah.
saying is that with that scene, Cole would easily be picked by Marcel because Marcel did some dirty shit too. But can you
What
blame
dirty
him?
shit? What are you talking about?
Because remember,
What did Marcel do ever that wasn't justified?
He called Michael.
thank you.
That wasn't justified.
No,
I mean, all right. You know what? You know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. One thing he ever did in his entire life.
listen, he
Yeah, the rest was Klaus mental bullshit, honestly.
But then yet
It
again,
was.
everything had to do with Klaus. There wasn't one
Yeah.
thing that went on that had nothing to do with Klaus.
Mm.
Think
Yeah.
about that.
Mhm.
Everything had to do with Klaus. That's why he's technically the number one character. You know? Then they would be because I would put it like this: Klaus, Elijah, Rebecca for good, especially in the Vampire Diaries. Because remember, she wasn't really that much in the originals. Freya was in it more than
Yeah.
Rebecca, technically.
No,
Yes.
I wouldn't say that.
Yes. No.
What
But
the
you-
last 2 seasons?
But keep it because here's the thing: in real life,
You mean the actress?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, no. What I'm saying
'cause
is
the character was there, but
no.
she
Obviously,
switched
they always
actress a
mentioned
couple
Rebecca,
times.
but remember, the character would only show up on the originals as a recurring star, because in real life she was pregnant
Yeah.
and she had a baby to raise.
But
So,
the
you
the
know,
I forget her
shit.
name. I don't know the actress' name, but the black woman,
Claire Holt. I think.
the black woman that played Rebecca when she switched bodies.
Oh yeah.
She did well because it still felt like Rebecca.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like
Oh, yeah.
okay, since it's a different actress, she wasn't
Yeah,
there.
no.
Like Rebecca was still there, but like when she left to go raise Hope, you know, like during
That was
point,
crazy though.
she
That
left
that
and-
whole like thing of your mind going to another body.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool because remember Rebecca was actually a witch When
all of
Yeah.
them were witches.
Well, technically, yeah, all of them would
they
have
were
been
born
witches. And Cole technically was a witch when he was that other body.
Yeah.
And
Cole
that-
fucked
and-
with being a witch. That's what
yeah,
kind of.
and the actor that played Cole as a witch, he did a good job acting
Yeah.
like Cole.
No,
You
did
know,
well.
and it's crazy because that's how he fell in love with Davina, and what Davina did to Cole, man, that really changed that man.
Yeah.
You know what blew me
That's a
about
fact.
the whole bridge shit was because Klaus was trying to look out for Marcel at the same time, but who hold it?
What you mean?
Because Davina had died,
Yeah.
Cammy had just died, and they was trying to bring Davina back,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then Klaus was like, you know what?
Or is it-
On my phone.
No, you good.
Klaus was like, yo, we're gonna help. Fuck that. Nobody else is gonna die today. Cole was like, yo, we gotta help Davina because they
Yeah.
trying to kill her. He's like, yeah, I understand. We're gonna help you. We're gonna get Davina back. I got you.
right.
But then they used Davina because Davina ended up being like a portal to the other world, which
Yeah.
they could use the kill Lucian at the end. At the end of it, so they ended up holding Davina to kill Lucian. Ended up saving Klaus's life, but Davina died, and that's why Marcel
was
was on
mad.
it. Cole was mad.
Yeah.
Marcel ended up. He was like,
And
"Fuck
that
it, I'm gonna take the
And at that
serum."
point, it was like Marcel kept taking L's for the family. You're not going to include me in always and forever, but you're going to make me take L's for it?
Listen, there
Yeah.
was always somebody taking L's. We spoke about this in our
Yeah.
Vampire Diary episode, where we came to the conclusion that Bonnie suffered the most.
Oh, yeah.
I think in this series, Marcel suffered a lot. I think so. Honestly, I could give it to him. Marcel suffered a lot.
Elijah.
But he suffered. I'm sorry. He
Okay.
suffered
He's
more.
number 2.
He suffered more due to his own intellectually to like just be pissed off about a lot of shit. He took things to heart. He didn't know how to respond to it correctly because remember he felt abandoned. Remember, like you said, Klaus didn't check on him in the 100 years that he built, kept New Orleans standing.
Yeah.
Like he was kind of bullied.
I
in a
feel
way.
like Marcel was able to become his own person, become his own man.
yeah, on his
So
own.
therefore, I feel like Elijah hurt the most because he never came out.
You know,
to that
he
shit.
hurt him the
I
most.
feel like
That's what I'm
Marcel
saying.
was able to
No, he
create an
suffered. He said
identity.
Elijah was hurt the most because he was never able to become his own man. Because
He was
spent
never
so much
able
time
to-
focusing on Klaus.
Like even at the end, he's like he end up killing
Okay,
Klaus.
so basically,
He's like, if
yeah.
you die, I gotta die.
so basically, with that is
Because of-
Elijah knew what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elijah knew at the end of the day, if he really wanted to, he could have left Klaus on his own. He could have been left his ass,
Mhm.
knowing that he wouldn't have to worry about him. But they always stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Marcel, remember, Marcel was a child to them. He ended up growing with them because the whole entire time Marcel has been alive, Klaus and the whole original family have been the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because by then they've been alive for what, 800 years?
Yeah. Plus.
Technically speaking,
800 plus.
they've only been alive with Marcel for what, 20% of their whole lifetime. That's
Not
like
even.
that's like a childhood friend.
That's like I would go.
That's
I would
like-
say 15 to like 12%. Not even 20.
Yeah, but, well, yeah, because like 150 years. Because Marcel was technically only what, 150 years old, 60 years old.
When they left, they left early 1900s. So
But remember, he was changed
yeah,
in the late
but, all right,
1800s.
So what? The family was born in like the late 900s. They got turned in like the year 1000, something like that.
Yeah.
Marcel was born in the 1800s, so we could round and say like 850 years of their life before they even raised this nigga. And then we get to that point of him being alive, but then honestly, Marcel is older when we see him, but when they left, they probably only been with him for like 60 years, probably.
Well, keep in mind, they left because of Michael.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but when they left, Marcel only probably took up like maybe, that's around 70 years, not even like 200, probably
That's true.
70 years of their life.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, so, but I mean,
But it's like also how long did they stay with one nigga for 80 years? That wasn't with the family.
that's true. That's also
You'd be
very
surprised, man. You'd be
That's-
surprised.
I mean, but no, I think that's valid because most of, well, I mean, we don't know 100%, but I feel as though most of their implied relationships were 5, 10 years,
and have like the emotional
here.
attachment for that
like
long.
but and then also not even just that, like it's the difference between meeting an adult and raising a child.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you raise him from a kid to an adult, and then he, like when he got turned, he was a full grown man.
Yeah.
And then you stay with him for another, like what? When Marcel and Klaus had that conversation, and then it was almost like, where Rebecca had to get daggered in order for the situation to move forward.
Which always sucked, by the way.
It did.
Yeah,
but that was what, like 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
From when Marcel was a vampire or from a human, he might have. So yeah, all right. So let's say 75, because Marcel was like 25, something like that when he got turned.
Yeah, because there was
it was like 50 years.
15 years where they just let Marcel grow.
Yeah.
Remember, he always wanted to be a vampire,
and they kept telling him.
And they kept telling him no.
Yeah.
And obviously they know that long they've been alive. They know the difference.
What was that ultimatum he gave Klaus? It was like,
I can't remember.
Oh no, it was somebody had shot him, and Marcel was dying.
I think
and
so.
then
Yeah.
Marcel was like, Klaus was about to give him his blood, and Marcel was like, no, like either you turn me right now or you let me die. And then that's where
what was real.
So
cool?
what happened with the Rebecca situation?
It was beforehand, like where Rebecca had been daggered already.
Okay.
And it was because of that situation with her and Marcel.
Listen, that's some
and
real
Marcel,
love.
Okay, and that
too.
just happened to be the situation where he got
real
turned.
love,
So Marcel
Okay.
was like, look, either you gonna turn me or you gonna kill me. Like my girl is already fucking gone. You gonna either turn me right now
It's gonna be
or just let me fucking die. So, and then that's how that went about.
Yeah, I definitely feel that.
But all right, so the last topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vincent is a real ass nigga.
I really fuck with Vincent.
Yeah,
Bro,
okay. Let's
that
switch to the
nigga
witches. Let's switch to
Hold
the
up, but stop.
witches.
When this
That was
nigga
a cool
came in on
character.
some that handshake and shit, that just started shaking his hand and some magical bullshit going on. So that actor came into the show because he was possessed by Finn. Like during that same time when Cole was possessing.
Can I just say something real quick? That
Yeah.
with Vincent, my favorite move that he always did, and I kind of got to give it to Finn because my favorite move was only when Finn had his body.
Yeah.
Was when he came in and he was like just moving his fingers. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
That-
Because
that-
like
that
sometimes
whole-
he'll be like
that
this. Sometimes
stance.
he'll
And then
Stan's
niggas
moving his hands like
start getting
this.
fucked up.
And he knew how to manipulate.
It's like, yo, shut the fuck up.
Exactly, like
And niggas is gone.
just walking around like he had that stance like Han from Fast and the Furious series with the chips, like he just had that stance like
real.
yo, like that shit was just cool, like
Yeah.
that made Vincent. But then of course that was when Finn had his body.
Yeah.
But still, even when Finn eventually left the body, like Vincent turned out to be a great character.
The fact that he was a guy who was well known, a powerful witch, who had some bad shit happen. His wife went bad on him, and he was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing magic. He get possessed on the random, and then they ask him to do magic, and he like, nah, I'm not trying to do it. Whole time, this nigga is a fucking boss.
Yeah,
But he like, yo, I'm not trying to do it. Not trying to do it. When the time come and you see this nigga really say, you know what? I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Y'all niggas is not about to do this and that. I don't give a fuck about what you say. You got a problem? Boom. Drop dead.
Fuck you,
Motherfucker.
original
You
bitch.
want
For real,
beef?
bro,
I don't
for
want no
real.
beef. But if you want beef, I'm not fucking scared of you, nigga. Let's go. I will call my witches. We coming through with stakes. You falling on the ground and we stabbing you.
You possess me anyway,
You
nigga.
possess me anyway. I don't give a fuck. And honestly, I felt the way when he became friends with Freya, because Freya was a bitch in the beginning. But by the end of that, he
Word?
Can you
became.
blame her though?
Yes,
She
I
has so
can.
much hate.
How,
I
why do you
can.
She
say
has
that?
so much hate from her
Because
aunt,
Freya
from
was a
Andalia.
fucking bitch.
How so?
Because from the very beginning, Freya got taken.
yeah.
Which wasn't her fault.
She got taken. It wasn't her fault.
Wasn't her
Okay,
fault.
cool. She tried to leave. It wasn't her fault. Cool. But then she ended up siding with her dad. She was mad when her dad died, and then she switched up, became always and forever, and was fucking everybody over because of that. Literally, I forget who off the top of my head. I'm trying to
Davina
remember.
probably.
It was and I'm trying to
Davina.
remember off the top of my head because I felt passionately about this. Like, It was one of those. I just keep remembering scenes in my mind
Somebody had to
where she
live and
kept
somebody had
saying
to
it's
die.
for my family type shit.
Davina was one of them. She was the one who was like, yeah,
They ended
fuck
up.
her.
They were supposed to bring Davina back, but then they ended up draining that power from her while she was on the other side, so she could
They killed Lucian, yeah.
Like,
Davina.
all that shit, and it was always about my family, my family, my family. The fact that
Can you
when
not
they did
fuck with
that
Elijah?
skit,
Can you not
I
fuck with
could
Klaus?
fuck with Elijah because I
I
understand.
feel like that's the reason why I know
Freya
she's a Michelson.
Did not spend those years with them to build that relationship.
I know.
She was a
I know.
kid.
Yeah.
She left before Klaus, Elijah, fucking Rebecca, Cole, Henrik were born.
Keep in mind that we didn't even know about Freya until very late, as to
Until
when
the
we
end.
already had years with the originals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't even know that she existed. So that just shows you, like, all right, look, we just thought it was just them.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, the one brother died. But then we find out about Finn. And then, like, early on still.
And then Finn remembered her.
Yeah.
And then when we talk about Freya. And it's like, yo, where has this girl been this whole time?
Oh, shit.
But then we come to find out, we learn more about the story. We learn about Dahlia. We learn about the bond that their moms had because they were supposed to be sisters, had each other's back. Which, by the way, that whole time
Yeah, that was fucked up. Esther was a bitch.
yeah. I mean, still, overall,
Nah, real shit. She's a bitch.
She made use of that curse though. She had
Listen,
what,
Nah,
7
she
kids?
created a
literally
powerful
went to her
family.
sister, asked for help, made an agreement.
I gotta
and
give
then
her
broke
that.
that shit.
you gotta give her that.
Like, well, no, she technically didn't break it, but she wanted to break it. It's like, yo, yeah, give me this and I'll give you that, and then you gave me what I wanted.
It sound like a rap deal.
Yeah, low
True,
key.
right? Yeah.
That was a bullshit contract. She had a good lawyer.
It's like
like,
I know I said
had a
that,
good
but it's
lawyer.
like
yeah,
I got it now. Just like, I don't
Yeah.
want to get that up. It's
Well,
like,
she
well,
ended up having to.
yeah.
But honestly, like even in the beginning, Klaus was not even trying to include her in Always and Forever.
But it's
Yeah.
like
But they chose her before Marcel.
that's like you can't be mad at Freya and not be mad at Klaus.
I'm
I feel like
mad at
that-
both
I
of
feel
them
like- I
niggas,
feel like
but
it's
Klaus is
just-
smarter.
So you
It's
respect me
kind of
more.
like when
I
you
feel like that's
find
the
out.
reason.
It's kind of like when you find out
I
you
feel
have a
like
half
that-
sibling.
yeah.
Huh?
It's kind of like when you find out you have a half sibling,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, all right, look, deep down you know they blood, so you respect them a little bit, but then you got somebody that's been in your life longer than they have, but you always feel like this certain bond that you have with that person because you know their blood. You know, like
Yeah.
they really like your sister.
Yeah. I
But
feel that.
there's always that deep connection that they had with Marcel. Technically, they knew
That's
Marcel
built-
longer
that's
than
built
Freya.
over time.
I feel like
Exactly.
the fucked up history behind it is like what makes her more relatable. It's like okay,
Yeah.
it's like she's fucked up in the head as well
Yeah,
because
right.
of
She's a
how she
fucking
got.
Michelson.
She also got done dirty, which Klaus can relate with,
Yeah.
and other people can relate with because they don't all got done fucking dirty,
Right.
so they do other people dirty.
That's
Just like
real.
how Klaus burned Gia. It's
Yeah.
a way-
Nah, don't
Yeah.
even make that comparison because that was petty.
That was petty.
That
That
wasn't-
okay.
I remember he saying
That
he didn't
was
like that. Yeah.
very
Yeah,
petty. That's
that's petty.
that's one of my
Also fucked up
unforgivable
shit.
Klaus moments.
Yeah.
Cause I fucked
He
with
didn't even
Elijah
have
and
to do
Gia.
that.
Bro,
I was
there
so happy for Elijah
there was
during
so
that.
much that
I was
that
so
he
happy
did
for
fucked
Elijah.
up.
Yep.
Let's
was
not
so happy
forget
for him.
about that.
And then he was like, "You know, fuck that. Oh, you want to
Listen.
dagger? You want to dagger me?
Listen,
Like you ain't dagger
we know,
niggas."
we already know that
Make
at
you
the end
feel
of
it.
everything, each character was cast perfectly.
Oh,
These
yeah.
people played it well.
Acting was
You
great.
made listen. If I saw Joseph Morgan right now on the streets, I'd be like, "Yo, what the fuck, Klaus?
Nah.
Like, why'd you do that? How
yo.
could you let that happen?"
Yeah.
Why
And
you
then- but
killed
the-
Gia, my guy?
Exactly. You
It's
know,
like, you know how many times you could have had that happily ever after, nigga,
For real.
and you fucked it up because you want to act all
they all
retarded.
could have had the perfect life.
Oh man.
They all could have the perfect
done
life.
fucked
But
it
you know
up.
what, man? Shit
Over
happens, man.
1,000 years they done fucked it up so many times.
1,000 years, and then let's just say at the
You never
very-
learned your lesson.
And at the very end, they chose their life to be sacrificed. It's funny because I saw a video where they were at Comic-Con one time,
Uh-huh.
and they had mentioned how he would have wanted them to die. And it's crazy that they actually did what they ended up doing.
But they died together.
That they would die together. That one person would like stab the other one in the heart with the white oak stake, break it in half, and the other one would do the same. And that's actually what happened. And then they just turned to dust and just
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
The
it's crazy.
hollow
It's like
disappeared and
you,
shit.
yeah, that was the best way.
Like
because
at the end of the day, it was sad. It was sad, but hey, hope
Elijah
lives
never-
on. Hope
Elijah never
fuck
got to
that
move on.
Hope
which
lives
is what
on with
I
the
hated
legacy.
for.
you know, now we have legacies to watch, and it's like.
Yeah. That's gonna be the next video.
we
by
She
the way.
fucked it
we
up. She killed my
continue.
guy Klaus. She got a lot of niggas
Yeah.
killed.
She
It's
did.
it's
She
like
did.
Yeah.
I keep saying Berto, but
Keep
it's like
in mind, we go back to
I
the
hate
beginning.
her for it.
We go back
The
to
bullshit.
the beginning.
It's just so
I feel
much
you.
bullshit.
What's up?
Where remember why the witches was trying to hurt Haley and kill the baby because they knew it would be a sin.
Mm-hmm.
Look what Hope did, being alive, killed Haley,
Goddamn mom.
killed her parents
Mm-hmm.
because she physically did it.
I feel like
but-
they would have let her rock for that. It's like
yeah, but
you done
shit,
killed the
still-
originals. That shit
still-
cursed.
Shit.
But I mean,
They hated them that much.
I don't know what else you got to say about.
I think that's it. Unless y'all got some more topics y'all want to bring up.
I think we covered a lot. I think
We
we
definitely
covered
did.
great things. I mean, we kind of showed everybody, you know, like what our opinions were, how we thought about it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
however
shit.
you guys want to take it from here.
I think we good. All right, so
Good.
Great character
Real
development. I feel like that was the
shit.
best. The characters.
Listen,
So-
if anybody has not watched the originals, please watch it.
Real
Please,
shit.
please
Go
watch it.
watch the
I mean,
originals.
at the end of the day, it's a great show, and we can, you know, a lot of guys don't talk about it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure some guys out there probably like, yo, these motherfuckers here.
Yeah,
But
shit,
you know
but
what?
it's dope.
I had
It's
sisters
beyond that.
put me
It's,
on.
it's beyond that. It's cool. The characters still play. Listen, I don't know about you guys, but there's still times on Instagram I see videos of the originals.
Yeah.
I still like watching it.
Yeah.
You know, like there's been great scenes, bad parts, good parts. But you know, hey, listen.
I done rewatched it a couple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just finished it a couple months ago,
Mhm.
so I'm
Yeah.
still pretty up to date with it. And at this point, like I said, I still watch it.
It's
and
like when it
I'm-
was a new season, I always checked it out.
Yeah.
Especially when it came on
Oh,
Netflix.
Yeah.
I always made sure
See,
to
I
watch
was
it.
I was watching it weekly on CW.
Mm.
Okay.
I was like,
yeah.
I was mad because I think it was from season 3 to season 4 they cut the season in half, and
That's
at
true.
Yeah.
that point, like
That's true.
when that happened, because I was watching it weekly from season 1, it was full seasons,
Mhm.
and then they ended up cutting it in half. But we thought it was gonna get canceled because normally the CW season starts in like late September, October,
Right.
and that season didn't start till like January, February, and it was only 12 episodes, and they did the same thing. For
That's
the
right.
last-
They had
yeah,
about 12 episodes
for the last
for the
two.
last two,
Mhm.
but the first
Yeah.
3 was like 21,
Yeah,
22.
because
Yeah.
after season 3 they were.
I
Gonna
was
cancel
upset,
it.
but I was like, it was still good.
Yeah,
So.
they
Yeah.
brought it back, and then the second
Seemed
half
like the
season,
budget different
Yeah.
or
Brought
some
it back.
shit.
They brought it
Yeah.
back, but you know what?
Yeah.
Hey,
That was it. All
it
right,
worked
so
out.
this was another one for you. This was the originals. We gonna be
Yes.
back at you with a legacy
Thank you
video.
guys.
So again, this is the
Yes.
Big Cat React. I'm your boy Gravity the Beast.
Big Cab, no bullshit.
Follow,
Yes, sir.
subscribe,
Yes.
check out the podcast, the Big Cat.
Yes. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, this is
All
another
right.
one for you. Be back
Peace.
at you.
Peace.